Welcome back, everybody. We've returned. For now. Because we are on another hiatus next week. Oh, dude. Lots of stuff been going on. How's everybody been? What's everybody been into? Got everything. All right, there we go. Go. Okay, let's get this switched over. Is that still working? That's still working. Good. I haven't used my Stream Deck in a minute. There we go. All right. What's up, Bailey? How are you doing? Star Wars are packed. Got Andor Season 2, Tales of the Underworld, Mandalorian movie, Darth Maul, Shadow of Lord. Wait. Lord of Shadow? What? I forgot what it was called. Close enough. Ahsoka Season 2, and Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Some of that, the Tales of the Jedi thing, and I haven't heard yet, but I did hear about some of the details surrounding Ahsoka Season 2 that's come out so far. I saw the first picture of Rory McCann as Balin. Looks great. Tales of the Underworld, comes out in 2 weeks. Andor Season 2 kicks off this week. We got Mando movie coming, and then a Darth Maul animated series coming out that's set between the prequels and the original trilogy, in which apparently they are going to be adapting some elements of George's original sequel trilogy script with his apprentice, which is wild. Season 2 of Skeleton Crew. Well, hell yeah. I hope all that's true so far. Apologies, Michael, but I won't be able to attend. I'm playing D&D from 2 to 5. Hell yeah, man. That's a worthy sacrifice. Go enjoy your and just enjoy your D&D time, man. That's all I gotta say. Is like I completely understand. If most days I would say, if you gave me the option of doing what I'm doing or playing D&D, I will probably choose playing D&D. Would you rather spend an all-nighter at Queen Bee's Gluttony Mansion or Scanlan's Chateau Short Halt? I mean, nothing really goes on in Scanlan's chateau aside from whatever he's got going on. So maybe Bee's party? I mean, that'd be popping, that'd be banging, that'd be fun. I'd definitely be snacking, that's for sure. What's up, Christian? How you doing? DD Born Again finale was so freaking phenomenal. Frank being back as the Punisher was amazing. Karen coming back also made me happy. Hell yeah, same. I think we're just laying the groundwork to kind of return to, well, not the status quo, but like really truly getting out all of the plans that they had, following through on what they could on the story that they've already worked on, and setting the stage for what they actually want to do and getting that out. By the way, was it hard for you to choose a thumbnail for the reaction? My problem is always finding like an image that is detailed enough and not too dark in which I can actually get a solid image. Because sometimes, like, if you try to like upscale or whatever, like some really shadowy stuff, or sharpen even, it just looks so terrible. So like my hardest thing was finding like a shot of Daredevil in the suit where he was in enough lighting that I could actually include him. And I wasn't sure about whether or not to go with Frank or Fisk. I had a version of it with each, and I was like, fuck it, I want to put Frank in the thumbnail. We already know there's scenes from the trailers that we haven't seen yet that have him in there, and they were already setting that up. He was in the fucking thumbnail and the banner of the episode yet again, so I'm like, he's going in the thumbnail. What's up, JC? If you ask me, I've seen way worse deaths than Commissioner Gallo, because slashers don't stop at just jaw ripping off their faces and head crushing. I mean, if we're talking like most gruesome deaths, period, sure. Like, insert Jigsaw into anything. But as far as like a superhero series, Yeah, it was pretty grotesque, and there was a really cool practical effect that they used too, because they showed off a behind the scenes of the faux head that they rigged up to do it. It was pretty solid, man. So I have to ask, which is worst, the car door head scene or the commissioner's head? I'm gonna have to go with the commissioner's head because we actually get to see the fallout of it. Like, a lot of the door scene, we don't, like, a lot of it's implied. It's a lot of, like, hidden camera, this violence is happening, but we don't see a lot of the fallout of that, of the wreckage of that. But with this, he tore his whole ass forehead off and dislocated and flayed his jaw. Dude, like, splayed him like he was a fucking pretzel. Yeah, I think that was a little worse. Or like he went through like a, somebody like hit him with a potato peeler. What's up, Janie? How are you? I'm doing good. Cats are also good. By the way, happy Easter for tomorrow, and my birthday is the next day. Well, happy early birthday and Easter. Anyway, I hope they have season Daredevil. You know, another season of Daredevil. I'm not sure what. We do know for a fact another season is coming, so I'm not sure what you were actually saying there. If that's it, sure. If that was not the question, clarify. What's the worst video game based movie you've ever watched? For me is Mario Brothers. Not the recent one, but the 1993 one. It's like the Ninja Turtles of crack. That's a pretty tough one. That one's pretty high up there. But there's elements of that I do enjoy. Not because it's accurate, but just because it's kind of absurd. But I mean, it's still surprisingly better and more put together than any of Uwe Boll's video game adaptations, whether it's House of the Dead or Blood Rain or whatever else. His movies are straight garbage. But if we're talking like had like a real theatrical run or anything like that, I'll probably go side with you on that. Otherwise, I pick anything from his filmography from Uwe Boll, and we can run with that. There's going to be a new Star Wars animated series called Maul Shadow Lord. We're going to be getting a lot of this today. And a version of Darth Talon is going to be in it, who I thought Disney would never touch. I saw that. Apparently they are going to be bringing in Darth Talon. To what degree? We'll have to wait and find out. Doctor Who Season 15 Episode 2 reminded me of a cartoon character of the game of Cuphead. I mean, it's that similar era, the same style of animation from that same time period, so that's very purposeful. So, I mean, that's what Cuphead was doing. It was just hearkening to that style of animation from that time period. How's your week been? Pretty good. Just catching up with everything, especially with work. Being out for 5 days in a row. There's a lot to come back to. Cat's been getting into any mischief? Yeah, nothing too terrible, thankfully, so far, which is good. What's up, Darkly? Hello. Back to editing Doctor Who while we wait. Hell yeah. Oh, finished up that grind earlier this morning. Because they changed things up. You know, last season, the episodes didn't arrive on Disney Plus until, I think, 10 a.m. Eastern time the next morning, but now it was 3 a.m. midnight Pacific, which they changed up for this season. So I was just too tired to do it at 3 a.m. So I waited. I woke up around like 6:30 and started working on it, but we'll see how things go next subsequent weeks. Obviously I won't be able to react to it on time next week, but the following weeks we will be able to keep up on it. They're doing some of the story from George Lucas's sequel trilogy. Yes, indeedy duty. The Fantastic Four trailer has me more excited now than I originally was for it. Same. The stretch is one of the best stretches we've seen from a live action Mr. Fantastic. It was a pretty solid choice that they used to kind of showcase his stretching ability in that moment. And it wasn't even just a simple like single limb too. It was a full body stretch. So I'm excited to see more of that once we kind of get closer to the release or when the film actually comes out. The chat in the Star Wars Celebration live stream was awful. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I would try my best not to get swept up in all of it. Let's see. What's up, Nikki? Sadly, I'm missing your live today. Hope you had an amazing time at C2E2. I did indeed. It was such a good time. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you have a fun time at Level Up Expo. Bet your fur babies were happy to see you return. Take care. They were. They were. C2E2, the biggest struggle of it, I think, was just Ubering to and from the hotel. Thankfully, I don't have to do that at Level Up because I booked that so soon after last year's that I got a hotel room like right across the street from it. So I just hotel lobby, cross the street, and go inside, and I'm done. I don't have to Uber to and from every day this time around. So that's exciting. Get to save a little money that way. What's up, Logan? Hope you had a good trip, man. I did. If you have seen all the pictures. If you haven't, go check out all the pictures. What's up, Scruffy? How you doing? Hello, Axel. Safe travels. Well, thank you, Nikki. Chicken jockey. Good God, man. What's up, Jay? How are you? Hey, Omni. Never been a part of these live streams before, so hey, well, welcome Vengeance. We always welcome Vengeance here. What's up, Ashley? How are you? Hero's Journey. Since we get a mall show, do you think we can get a Plo Koon show? I mean, Dave Filoni would definitely like that, but probably not. I don't know that there's like the fan demand or need for a Plo Koon show, but who knows? Who knows? But I'm glad that we're going to get to see a little bit about what happened to Maul between where we last saw him in Clone Wars and where we see him in Rebels, because there's a big old gap where we don't know what happened. And I'm glad we're going to get to fill that in. Hello there. It's Morbin time. Welcome, Sketch. What's up, Adam? Hope you're doing well. Can you believe S.H.I.E.L.D. was only in the framework for 5 episodes? Feels longer. It definitely does feel longer. I think part of that, at least for me, is the weeks between. And if you watch it live, it would feel very much so the same. If you were binging it, I wonder how much it would, like just back to back to back to back, how long it would kind of feel like. Did I see the 28 years later second trailer? I saw the first. I haven't seen the second one yet. I'm gonna go. I definitely want to see it. I don't know if I'm gonna go react to it or if I'm gonna wait for, or if I'm actually going to see it in theaters. I'm not sure yet, but I like the first 2 movies. Love the first movie. I think I've only seen the second movie one time, so it's hard to say. I need to rewatch that one, but I'm excited for it. After the last stream, I had some time to sit on my feelings on the DMC Netflix show, and I have to say, I don't think it's as good as initial viewing, you know. I still like it. I still enjoy it for sure. Personally, I've let it sit for a hot minute, and I'm still pretty okay with it. I've got my qualms for sure, but we'll see how things go. There's already a leak of season 2 that I've seen floating around, a little clip. Like a small, I saw somebody turn the clip into a GIF of it, and there's some fun stuff I can't wait for them to dive into, but I'm looking forward to season 2. What's up, Lindsay? Happy Saturday. Love this shirt. Well, thank you. Speaking of, we got some news that now that Sinners is out, Ryan Coogler said in a recent interview that the X-Files reboot is the next project he's going to be working on. So I'm excited for that. Let's see. Love the DMC show, but I have a few questions. What was Lady like in the games? What is Ebony and Ivory, and are they supernatural or something? Lady is like, we get a lot less time with Lady in the games, quite obviously, just because of runtime. Like I mentioned in the last video, like she only has 20 something minutes of screen time in the game that she's introduced in which she achieves her arc of overcoming her bigotry towards demons through her journeying with Dante. And they've kind of added to that, like out of the 2.5 hours or 2 hours of game cutscenes, and you get to play as Lady in the game, at least for a little bit, but as far as like story time and cutscenes, and she's only got 23 minutes of the 2-hour runtime, but she's basically the same. Like she's not as talkative, I'll say. She's more, as soon as she sees Dante, she shoots him. Like she's always shoot first, shoot again, shoot one more time, and then maybe we'll have a conversation. And before she even knows he's a demon or anything like that, she straight up just tries to kill him. Like she's abrasive the entire time. She's exactly the same. It's just they gave her more lines in the show and they've fleshed her out and given her more screen time. Personality wise, pretty much exactly the same, and we're only in the middle of her arc still. She hasn't completed the arc there, especially considering technically we haven't really done Devil May Cry 3 at all, because we started with White Rabbit, who was a prequel villain to that game. So who knows what they're gonna do. But Ebony Ivory are Dante's signature weapons, which are, where are they? These babies. They are built to resist his demon strength. They've got custom triggers which he cannot break, and depending on your source material, they fire his own demonic energy instead of bullets. So he doesn't have to worry about running out of ammo, and he can just shoot as long as he's alive. So I don't know if they'll keep that element of it. I'm not sure how consistent that element of it is even across the canon, but that's the version I'm aware of. So they are supernatural in essence. They're able to channel his own demonic energy. And how did you feel about Dante's Devil Trigger? Looks fine. A lot of them have looked pretty alien over the course of this, and they kind of leaned into a couple of elements and design choices across the board from various different games, but I thought it was fine. I would have liked it to look a little more spittily, a little more horde, a little more demonic, but for what we got so far, I dig it. It also, it can change based on what weapon he's using as well, so I'm curious if they'll introduce that or not. Let's see. Are you caught up with Doctor Who, or should any discussion of that be avoided? I'm caught up. I just posted my reactions to episode 1 and 2 today for this current season. Like, I agree with that lady constantly swearing was a bit of a turnoff for me. Like the work on Navy installation, and lady swears more than sailors I work for. She swears in the way that I feel like a child finally discovering swears initially. And I don't know, I've heard that the Japanese dub sounds a little bit more natural in the way that she kind of carries herself. It's just like when she swears, it feels like maybe it's forced for the actress. Because sometimes it's fine and it fits in the length of the conversation, the sentence, and it feels natural. Most of the time, though, it feels like a kid swearing for the first time. And so sometimes when she's swearing or just throwing a motherfucker out there for no reason, it doesn't come off cool. It just comes off cringy. But that's kind of the end of it. Everything else about her, I'm completely fine with. What's up, Terrence? Happy WrestleMania Easter weekend. Yes. I'm surprised they're on Darth Talon. I was shocked. I was also shocked to see that in my timeline today. Fight scenes were really cool, although the main problem is how the characters are written. Like, after thinking about it, I don't know if Dante would be the kind of person to make a yo mama joke, you know? Dante's definitely the type of person to make a your mama joke. Even in the games, Dante, it's pretty. The cringiest joke he made was the botched joke of that He-Man reference. Outside of everything else, it's pretty Dante, a lot of the things that he's done. That kill scene was probably the most brutal scene in an MCU project, 100%. What do you use to make your thumbnails? Adobe Photoshop. Also, really think about it. After really thinking about it, I don't know if I like the idea of other good demons in Hell or Makai. Let's see. Like Devil May Cry is about killing boatloads of demon, really cool style and set pieces. So the idea of not all demons are bad kind of flies in the face of that. Not exactly true, because again, this is my problem with the games, is that there are good and helpful demons that you encounter across the series of the games, but then exactly that, the whole premise and point of the games a lot of the time is just killing demons in really cool, fun, stylistic ways. So there's like a mixed messaging in the games themselves, which is why I wish, like I mentioned in the video, that they dived into it more in the games, which is why I kind of appreciate that the show is actually doing that. But that's me. That's me. Let's see. Where are we at? Where was I? Here we are. The showrunner said season 2 will come March of next year. That's pretty quick. I know they're still filming some elements of it. How do you feel about the new Star Wars game, Star Wars Zero Company? I'm going to have a small group of only clones. I think it's interesting, and I get why they're doing it for players, is like they got a wide array of different types of characters. They have a Jedi, they have a Mandalorian, they have a clone, they have a droid, they have pretty much a mix and match of all your Star Wars archetypes. But it's a really interesting thing story-wise, I think, to have a Jedi and a Mandalorian on the same team. I think that's kind of interesting, especially around this point. So outside of that though, I like the idea. I love like the idea of a strategy game, a turn-based strategy game built in the era of the Clone Wars. I think I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Trailer looked pretty solid. So my weekend's been crazy. My nephew was born, and then yesterday my sort of cat gave birth to her babies. So how is it sort of a cat? Or is it sort of your cat? But congratulations on all of which. I have to say, Ian DeCaster's acting is so good as Fitz. Framework of Fitz was giving Sith vibes, which I loved. I love that they give these actors like these scenarios in which they've been playing a character over the several beats. Obviously they've had their arcs and their runs, but then they always have like this little stretch where they get to just do something completely off the wall compared to what they've done before. And I liked watching that with him because he's just so good, and I enjoyed that. And then Good Ward, you know, something like that too. What's up, Sonny Girolis? How are you? New subscriber. Come here for Heartstopper reactions. How are you enjoying the show so far? I'm loving it. And who's my favorite character so far? Ooh, favorite character from probably the main cast is I'm gonna have to go with Nick, I think. But also have this weird pull towards Tori. I think she's a really good, I don't know, just every scene she's in is just really interesting and intriguing. Like she's a lot more subtle while also not being. I don't know. I hope we get more attention on her, because especially after the guilt she felt for reaming into Nick in the last episode, I don't know. There's layers there, layers and layers and layers. But probably Nick, if we're talking like the main players. I thought you only react to one trailer for the MCU movie and then go in blind without any other trailers. Teasers and official trailers, final trailers are a no. That's the rule. Any other time, it's just, do I feel like reacting to it? Do I feel like I need to check it out? But that's the main thing. I'll watch the teaser, I'll watch the official trailer, and if I see the words final in there at all, I will never go near it. What's up, Caliban? Ragu. Hope you and yours are keeping well. Easter weekend is here, so have a drink all the booze. Tomorrow we will eat all that chocolatey goodness. And how's your cat army doing? We want Thundercats. My cat army is doing pretty good. Everybody's doing pretty good so far. I love that though. We want Thundercats. I did upload episode 1 of Doctor Who and I missed it. Apparently you did. I wasn't able to watch GalaxyCon for Hell of a Boss and Husband Hotel. My grandpa is in Morgantown. having heart surgery and a heart bypass. But is there any news on both? That was at GalaxyCon? No. But they did promise an announcement, big announcements at Level Up. So I think we're going to get some big news for the Helliverse next weekend. But I'm sorry to hear about your grandfather. Hopefully everything goes fine with that. I've had family go through both of those procedures, and it can be pretty taxing. And also it's just a risky procedure in general. So heart's going out to you, man. Anybody else feel that way, or am I just weird? I'm sure you're not alone. I'm sure you're not alone, but I don't know. I'm no. You're the only one really talking to me about Devil May Cry at the moment. I think one other person was as well. Everyone was spamming. Hope you're having a good day, Omni. Thank you, George. Have ever watched Highlander? I heard Henry Cavill is going to be part of his new movie. This new movie coming up. You know, it's floated around. It was going to be Ryan Reynolds, and then it became Henry Cavill. This Highlander movie has been in development hell for like 15 years. But I have seen the original Highlander. I've seen bits and pieces of the sequels that came out after the fact, and I've seen a little bit of the show, but not much. It's one of those franchises where I was like, we just needed the one movie. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this reboot. If you consider C2E2 next year, I would consider the Marriott Marquis. Close to the place, has a sky bridge, so you don't need to Uber. Yeah, so there was a Hyatt and a Marriott, I think, all that have a connected thing to it. So yeah, I'm probably going to go next year because it's a short, easy flight. We have a direct flight straight there, and it was super cheap. So I'll probably do it next year. So I'll keep that. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind, because, or at least just not buy all my tickets for everything 3 weeks before it's happening, because obviously the closest hotels were all sold out. But it was a last minute decision. I wasn't originally planning to go to it until somebody was like, hey, all of Critical Role is going to be there. And then, you know, talked to Travis at GalaxyCon, and there was some leveraging that was able to be had that made it, you know, I was already going, but like, it was just like, there's so many opportunities that came out of me going to GalaxyCon and then going to this that I'm really excited to kind of follow up on down the road, as well as just like everything that happened there was so fun. Let's see. But yeah, I definitely want to be closer than I was. I went to the new Epic Universal Park in Orlando. The Nintendo area was crazy. I've always wanted to go to Universal. I've still never been there. I've never been to Disney World. I've never been to any kind of those parks. I've been to Cedar Point, Busch Gardens, couple of the Six Flags before they got discontinued, disrupted, and then Kings Island. Those are the only parks I've really ever been to. By the way, I hope you put Karen in your season 2 thumbnail reactions. If she's central to the episode and has a big moment, she will make the thumbnail. I have to ask, if you pick 3 Star Wars characters to get their own show, who would you pick? Revan, and Revan. But so Revan, yes, let's see, somebody else we haven't, maybe. Revan. Shit, most people now with this small one that I would have given a show, we were getting a show. Because otherwise I would have probably said Cad Bane or Ventress. Quinlan Voss. I would like a show around Quinlan. Quinlan would have some wild adventures. Quinlan Voss would be a good character to center a show around. It'd be very different some of our other Jedi series, so like that, I think that would stand out a lot. Fuck it, Luke. Why not? Default, why not? Luke. Just give me a Luke show. With him training younglings or going out and recruiting or relic hunting, as he were. Wish there's a loophole that Marvel and Disney could use to put Spider-Man and Daredevil Born Again, Spider-Man in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Same. Or to just have Fisk appear in Spider-Man's movie. But sadly, apparently, there's no way we can have Spider-Man and Fisk in the same show or movie, which sucks so hard. Have you watched Jurassic Park Chaos Theory? It's great. I have not dabbled my toes into the Jurassic Park shows, but I've heard some interesting things about them. Also, a lot of Devil May Cry fans are actually defending DMC Devil May Cry after feeling like the Netflix anime kind of insulted them. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that's happening. But there's also a lot, I mean, the show obviously got a season 2. So it did well enough, and I've seen more people defending it than I've seen coming down on it. So we'll see what happens, man. There's a lot of bad faith going towards it as well, but I have seen people turn around and be like, oh, after this, were we too harsh on DMC Devil May Cry? And then I love it though, because if you scroll down a little bit, most of the time there's someone like, no, we weren't harsh enough. Like, at least the characters were the same. They fucked all the characters over in DMC. Yeah, I can't go. I will never be one of those people. That's the one thing about the anime that is irrefutable. They got the characters right. They're doing their own thing with the story, but they got the characters and all the other stuff right. So, but yeah, I have seen that. And then I've also seen people like, go, man, did people defend, or what was it? It's like, man, with how many people were defending this Netflix anime, was this the case back with DMC? And yes, DMC when it came out did indeed have a lot of vehement defenders at the time too, but people backed off over the years. And now now the new thing is the attention, and people, just like with the sequels, just like with the prequels, just with Star Wars, people are rewriting history just because they're mad at the new thing. It's cycles, man. Every fandom's got it. Seeing that with Doctor Who right now too. What? I'm over here like, okay, I like the reboot, and I will admit the Netflix anime has their problems, but come on, man, it's not that bad, you know. Exactly. People are hyping up what they want to hype up, man. What's up, Lily? Money Mama Lily coming in yet again. Everybody is doing good, and yes, that includes you too. I have a little story. I was taking care of a cat that I thought was a stray until my daughter found out by a neighbor that the cat belonged to someone that lived on the street behind us. We missed her. Aw. That sucks, man. That's the thing too with a lot of these strays and stuff like that. It's like, who knows who just is letting their cat out there without a collar and stuff like that, and they're just running around, and here I am feeding the shit out of them. And that's been the case. I know there was 2 cats that used to come around a lot that I haven't seen in a long time, but it turns out they belong to some of the neighbors up the street. But for the most part, a lot of them seem to, just condition of them wise, seem like they're probably definitely strays. But it's hard to tell, man. It's really hard to tell sometimes. And then you get invested, and then you're like, oh well, shit, I guess they're not open or available. But that's a funny little story. And thank you again, Lily. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Let's see. Right now, we're investing on new litter boxes at the moment. So that's, we just restocked on food yesterday. And we're trying something new with litter boxes here moving forward to try to make things a little bit easier. I was always a little apprehensive about it, but like I finally got one of the top entry ones. Like, it's a big old one, and I don't know. It always looked weird, seemed weird to me, but they're using the fuck out of it, so helps contain the smell a little bit, and that's pretty important with how many cats we have. Let's see, where did we leave off? Here we are. Don't know if anyone's asked this yet, but did you see the trailer for The Naked Gun? I did see the trailer for The Naked Gun, and I gotta say, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the trailer. It got some chuckles out of me, and the fact that it's a sequel makes me a little less jaded towards it. So we'll have to see. I might check it out. Check out my reaction to the original Naked Gun. If you watch Sinners, please don't spoil it. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I still haven't seen it. I haven't had time. I rarely have time to go to the theaters these days. I want to see it though. Do you think the first episode of Devil May Cry Season 2 will be Virgil's side of the story? Probably. Of what we saw he was up to before he got into that ending scene of Season 1. Yeah, I think we're going to see a shift in focus, and we'll probably see what happened to Virgil from his perspective from the night he disappeared onward. Let's see. I like the Devil May Cry show, but I wish we had saw Dante's flashback as well with the White Rabbit and ladies. We didn't. I still think we did not need to. He doesn't have a parallel connection to the White Rabbit and lady. They do. Like, they have an intertwined, balanced and mirrored story. Dante being injected in that and just having everybody's backstory in the same episode, you could make it work, but they're not all thematically linked. White Rabbit and ladies are thematically linked. So, and we'd already had Dante's entire backstory shown to us before that episode. So, and that's fine. Dante, like I mentioned in my videos, is the through line. He's the center, he's the beam, he's the spine of the series. And their story is like dancing around it. And I think that's exactly how that needed to be, personally. What's up, Dawson? Really enjoyed Born Again. Aside from the rough production and uneven writing, I can't wait for season 2. Feels like Marvel's picking back up this year with both this and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The marketing for that show was Transformers 1 level and didn't do it justice. And I think you'd be surprised at the great character writing and story if you give it a shot in the future. Yeah, that's one thing I've heard. I heard the characterization and the story was really good. Most people seem to still harp on the animation, which every clip they chose, like especially every action clip they chose to promote it, because I was trying to I looked at all the little promo clips that they were releasing, just trying to convince myself if this is something I need to watch or feel like I should, and none of them did it. Like, that Daredevil clip was only good if you sped it up by 50% or 100%. That was the most sluggish, lame fight I've seen at an animated show we've had in recent history. So, but yeah, the marketing probably was not that great. I don't know if I'd say it's Transformers 1 level, because I do think they pushed it quite a bit, but they pushed it very late towards its release. So that probably hurt it a little bit too. And then the actor did not help at all with his public statements. But yeah, we'll see. But I we'll see if I touch it in the future. I know they're making a season 2, so maybe I'll pick up on it a little bit later. But season 2 for Daredevil, I'm really excited for, because they're going straight into it with the new crew, and there's no bleed over from whatever the previous crew was going on with. What's up? Lesbian Reacts. Non-binary Lesbian Reacts. Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Hope all is well. Happy Easter for those who celebrate. Yeah, we're gonna be having Easter dinner just because that's the tradition. I've never been a huge Easter dude personally, even like when I was going to church and stuff like that, other than the egg finding. But obviously I'm an adult now, that ain't happening. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just going to see the family Sunday and having some din. I saw that there's an X-Files book and they're bringing it back. I think you meant reboot. But there's a couple books, but a reboot. Yes, Ryan Coogler of Sinners fame and obviously so many other things has been working on an X-Files reboot, and that is going to be the next project he is bringing to light. Apparently he's talked to Jillian, so that gives me at least some hope that it's not a full reboot and that it's just a continuation set in the universe, which is what I hope. I do not want to see somebody else playing Mulder and Scully. That's the last thing I want. But we'll see, man. Did you see the behind the scenes for Superman? I have not. What's up, Adit? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing good. A little gassy. So Reverse Prime, who's my favorite Arrancar / Espada from Bleach? that would be Ulquiorra Schiefer. He was always my favorite, man. I got his pops, both his Resurrection, as well as just the default. Ulquiorra just was a badass, and his transformation was the sickest, and just that fight with Ichigo and him was just sick. Yeah, definitely Ulquiorra. When is your whale reaction coming out? I know it's definitely, per usual, a tad late at the moment, but a lot of things are going to be right now, and that sitting down and it's edited. The editor sent it back to me. I need to find time to proof it and then put it up, and then it'll be good. I'm hoping to have it out next week, at least before I leave for my trip. I'm hoping to have it out next week. What demons actually help you, though, in the games? Like Jester in DMC 3 doesn't help you. 4 doesn't help you, and you end up fighting V's Familiars in DMC 5. V's Familiars are good, though. Like they even have a bond with V, that, you know, when he goes in to save them and all this kind of thing, they actually have kind of a bond. And a lot of the other bosses in, like, the twins are non-confrontational until you have to go through them. And I forget which, but there's a couple of demons that help you. I forget, man. I had these all memorized at one point when I was talking about it, but I can't remember at this point. There's a couple. That's the problem. There's a couple, and Sparta being the only one, again, it's a logical inconsistency or improbability for him to be the only one. And also, Lady's entire thing, I guess a devil can cry, that whole arc is invalid if that is not true. Like, Lady's entire character arc in 3 makes no sense if it only applies to Dante, who's only able to do that because he's human. Her arc is just a joke at that point. That's the problem I have with the games and all that. It's so inconsistent. But there are a couple of examples, for sure. We know Sparta wasn't the only one, just like going through the histories as well. But as far as like specifying anything outside of V's Familiars at the moment, the twins, I'm not exact. I can't remember. I had a list because when I was going through this, I was trying to figure out if there were any other mentions in this, and also talking with some other people in the comments. There were some examples they gave as well, but it's been a minute already. A lot of that, I'm out of DMC mode right now, and I'm in fucking Doctor Who mode at the moment. Star Wars Rebels, Sabine and Ezra. True. What's up, Captain Critter? Gonna watch the Gaslight District pilot? I don't know. I haven't really seen anything about it yet, but who knows? Maybe. Not going. It won't be anytime soon, though. I'm too busy right now. But I did see a new glitch thing popped up, but I haven't had time to look into it. On Heartstopper, who do you dislike more, Ben or Harry? Probably Ben. Harry's an idiot and a bigot, but Ben is a therapist, you know? In like, yeah, I don't know. Ben just gives me the crawlies down my spine. Let's see. Do you think we'll get a cameo of the Watcher in Fantastic Four? Probably. I would be shocked if we didn't. Can you believe Minecraft made all that money? No, I can believe it. I can believe it. Children's movies, man, it's an easy gateway into like quite literally mining parents for money. So that movie could have had even less effort put into it and probably still made the same amount of money. So Heartstopper is an adaptation of a webcomic that is a spin-off of the book Solitaire, which is about Tori. She's the main character of a different story. That rhymed. Haha. I think I saw somebody comment that on one of the videos. Good choices Good choices of favorite character though. Mine is Charlie. Very understandable choice. I do like Charlie, but I don't know. I'm just so engrossed in Nick's journey, and Tori is just like Wednesday with a soul. Fantastic Four. How are you feeling about the Owl House? Dude, it is bending my brain, especially with everything that was going on in this last episode. I got so many theories, huh? And I like it. I just enjoy the characters. I like the world, and the way they've been piecing out all of this lore and story has been really, really good. It's so good. Also, thank you for the Moxie, by the way. And your Jake the Dragon was sick. I kind of wish they would get someone Scottish for Highlander for a change, right? Yeah. At least he's European this time. Do you think we'll get Trish in Devil May Cry season 2? In season 2, I mean, who knows? Maybe. I mean, we're getting Arius in season 2, so it's definitely possible. So things are just out of order in a very chaotic way, so it's hard to say. If we're diving into Virgil and Mundus and this kind of propaganda machine that is going on between the two sides, I'm not sure that she's necessarily needed yet, but who knows? Have I seen Alice in Borderland? I have not. I've discovered it and binged both seasons in a week. No, I have not, but I've had it endlessly recommended. Hyatt is rare to get. It's like a dragon hoarding gold. Also, March 27, 29, 2006 are the dates. I got the email for that today. I think they actually said that as everybody was leaving on the PA system Sunday night. So yeah, that's going to be the main goal for me, is if I can get one there, because it's basically the same setup I've got with Level Up. I'm gonna aim for Hyatt. I got a membership with all that, so hopefully I can make that happen. That would be super cool. That would make things really easy next time, because I assume it's always at the same venue. Because the problem, at least with the Level Up, is there's like a northwest, east, south convention center, all part of the same thing, and it's huge, the one in Vegas. So it's at a different one this time than it was last time. So I couldn't go with the same setup I did either way. So I think though with this, as far as I know, it's always at that place. So that makes things so much easier planning for that one, but also easier for everybody else as well. So I've been thinking about this a lot, but goddamn, John, Charlie, and Vincent were born for these roles. I mean, Kingpin and Born Again scared me a little, and Punisher was so badass, and Daredevil was so cool. I agree with you, man. They definitely, again, like I've said many times, they're the only versions of these characters that I've actually been able to connect with and enjoy watching or whatever, following their stories. And I just think they all do such a phenomenal job playing the characters. And I'm right there with you on that one. Surfing is a bit of a stretch, but I think it's going to be fire. Unfortunately, I couldn't see Sue, but that's the thing. It's Fantastic Four. I'm here every weekend, folks. Good job, Sean. Good job with that one. That was good. What's up, Dion? What's up, Ginger? Happy Easter, Omni. How's it going? Doing good. Did you hear about Marvel is hosting free early fan screenings for Thunderbolts movie on April 22nd in select cities? And likely nowhere near me, more than likely, but I'll be too busy that day even with Andor, man. First 3 episodes of Andor drop on the 22nd. I've seen the set photos for Born Again season 2. There have been some recently with Charlie Wilson Bethel, who plays Dex, on their suits. I don't know if I've seen the one with Dex, but I've definitely seen a couple with Charlie and Karen. I don't know, but it seems like some people don't like Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Oh, there's a vocal amount of people that definitely do not. With Sinners, I have been hearing is so good and amazing that if you've watched it, do it. Ryan would be a good director for Blade. I mean, we need a director for Blade. We need that whatever to happen with that to go into all of this. The actor/actress wanted to play Ellie was they wanted to play again. This was Spindley from Romulus Civil War. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that's one of the popular fan casts. I mean, she looks more similar to the games, but they went with Bella, and I don't mind Bella. But you know, people gonna complain, man. Darth Revan is technically canon thanks to the Book of the Shadow of the Sith. He was also made canon in the visual dictionary for Episode 9. That was the first canon mention of Revan. One of the fleets in Palpatine's armada there towards the end was named after Revan. But I just want that story to be canonized because we still don't know that yet. Tomorrow, that scene will happen in The Last of Us. Maybe. Yeah, who knows when it's going to happen right now with the way things are going, but it can't be that far off, man. It really can't. My cat's brought me a live bird into my movie room. That's what cats do, man, especially if you leave them outside. That means they love you. By the way, Fallout Season 2 has now wrapped. I'm so excited. I didn't even know they were filming it right now. That's awesome. Hopefully we don't have to wait too much longer for that one. As someone who had a massive crush on Pedro, him being around a lot, I'm very happy, lady. So gorgeous. Yeah, you are eaten. He is in every franchise at this point, almost. Have you heard the rumors that Heather will be the new Muse in Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again? I've heard that speculated because there is like a female copycat Muse in the comics or something like that. I also think he might not be dead, but who knows? They lost her, or they just let the cat out to wander. Also very possible. Understood you were annoyed with not pulling Mac out, but it was alluded by Radcliffe and Simmons that pulling a human out would fry their brain and lose their perception on reality, unlike Ada. Considering he was programmed to believe this was his life, it would be ironic that this would be worse hell than him than when he was Ghost Rider earlier in this season. I disagree, because we saw Ada do this to Radcliffe while he was mid-operation. Obviously, he knew it's fake, so it's not wholly the same, but we saw with everybody else when they woke up, they just kind of went right back into it. You know, there was no prep, there was no breaking of the veil beforehand. They all had the exact same kind of awakening. Doing it to Mac would be no different. Especially for Fitz. He didn't know any better. There was no lubrication for him like there was with Phil. He just came out, and he's not, to be fair though, he's the one struggling with it the most. But yeah, no, you cannot convince me otherwise that we could not have done that to Mac. Because again, we saw Ada do it to Radcliffe. He was unprepared and yanked out mid-activity while he was in the framework by her on the outside. We know it's possible, but anyway, fuck it. And we could work through all that trauma afterwards. I will say that I love The Last of Us premiere, but Ellie was getting on my nerves. After the 5-year time jump, she acted more mature, but in the show, she yells she's infected, which is dangerous. I mean, I don't have a problem with that scene. I've seen some other people complain about that same scene or whatever, and I was like, she's a 19-year-old kid who's being controlled by this thing that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things right now to her, that's being leveraged. And obviously where they're at, no one's actually going to hear. I mean, I feel like a lot of us have done something similar. I know I have. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I know a lot of people got hung up on that. To be honest, Deborah Ann Woll is all we need back. She will outact Charlie and Vincent in a second, but Karen isn't allowed to do that. I like Deborah Ann Woll, but to be fair, I've not seen her in a lot of other things, and I don't know if I would say she would act circles around them by any stretch. But she's a major player from what I've seen for season 2, so we shall see. But I love her just for her D&D stuff. If everything else faded away, that would still keep me loving Deborah Ann Wall, man. Did you ever watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? That's a big old no. No, I have not. Oh, I have not. Ooh, Caliban got in here with a super chat. Going to attempt to pay for some Easter eggs for you and your fam. If I get hacked again, I'm dipping out. I think I got canceled last time I sent a tip. Michael was nice. Leave my credit card alone. Thank you. Yeah. Last time you super chatted, it got real weird. That's putting it lightly. So hopefully this time around that does not happen. But thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that. Where did we go? Here we are. Like seeing both Superman and F4 twice. Or I'm going to be seeing Superman and F4 twice. Do you think we will get a Last of Us Part 3? I hope so. Neil keeps going back and forth in every interview. Like in the retrospective for Part 2, he says that there's more to tell. But then here recently with the new season coming out, he's like, nah, I think the story's over. There's nothing else we got. And I know they're focused on Intergalactic at the moment, but I don't know. I poked at Ashley Johnson about it while I was at C2E2, but obviously I don't expect her to say anything. But I was like, I can't wait to see in the new season of the show or whatever. And you know, for talking about Vox Machina, and I talked to her how I'm excited for more Last of Us, and then I was like, you know, we got the new season coming out, and then I was like, the new game, and she was just like, I don't know, and that was it. That's where we left it. So I hope there is, because I definitely feel like there's more to tell. I think he's just playing coy and trying to keep the focus on everything else they got working on at the moment, but who knows. Twisted Metal Season 2 drops on my birthday. I'm excited for that, man. I was surprisingly impressed with the first season. I've done a rewatch of the first season of Andor, and I'm ready for Season 2. Hell yeah. Is Lily rich? She's generous. Who knows? Who knows? But she is a financier of the channel at this point. Which are you more likely to celebrate tomorrow? Easter, 420, or WrestleMania? More likely, Easter. 420, I've never partaken, and I'm not a wrestling dude. Comes out July 31st. That it does. Wasn't the biggest fan of knowing Abby's motivation for hunting Joel in the show, but I get why they are doing it this way. I mean, to be fair, I can't remember if her motivation was revealed this early or not. Because you play as her right almost immediately in the jump of the game. So, I mean, it's not that far off, but I can't remember, to be honest. I know we don't go long without knowing why. And we still don't have the full why. We still don't have the full why, even now, even with what they did in the show. Unless she's doing a Robin Hood, stealing from the evil rich and giving to the not rich. Did you see Sandman announcement trailer? I did not. I have not heard of such a thing. Virgil's bringing the storm for season 2. Yes, he is. And do you think the White Rabbit is up there with top tier villains? He was definitely a very, very good villain. I don't know how high I'd put him, but I really, really liked what they did with the White Rabbit. I'm not rich. I wish. I think we all wish we were rich. I'm never calling Catherine or Pedro any else's in my whole life than Pinktail and Fink during their therapy session. I want a Punisher Bullseye 1v1. That would be sick. I would like that too. What's up, Thabi? How are you? Hello from South Africa. Started watching when One Piece came out, and I have never looked back. Well, hell yeah. I apologize that I have to put One Piece on a pause. I had one person say some dumb shit to me that caused me to kind of go off on them in my community tab, but it was deserved. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. It's so time consuming, but I will return. Thoughts of Star Wars Starfighter? I mean, I got nothing. I'm assuming this is the same thing that Patty Jenkins was working on, but I don't know. I don't have any thoughts. All I know is there's a title and it exists. Whenever they announce a new Star Wars movie, I get hesitant that it'll come out because of all the other ones like Rogue Squadron getting canceled. See, I thought Rogue Squadron was still happening. Have you been watching any of the Star Wars Celebration coverage? I've just been seeing live tweets and stuff like that. I haven't been actually watching anything, unfortunately. Haven't had the time. Pedro is having a great week. Last of Us Fantastic Four trailer, and he was at the Mando and Grogu panel at Celebration. Dude's living it up, man. Douglas Sun, just let her wander off. What is your favorite transformations of Ichigo from Bleach? Definitely his full hollow form is highly up there. And just visored mask, Bankai Ichigo. I'm not a huge fan of his Bankai designs and Bankai swords after all of the eyes and stuff. Final Getsuga is also pretty sick, but I think my favorite is just full hollow Ichigo. It's probably my favorite. And then just the standard hollow mask Ichigo in Bankai form. So a lot of Last of Us Easter eggs in the F4 trailer, Omni. There was a sign in Times Square about fungus. Like intentional ones, or like we're just making connections? I didn't notice any personally. How would you feel if it's revealed in season 2 Daredevil Born Again was taking place on the Earth Fantastic Four is set on? It quite clearly isn't. The technology does not line up at all. And I would hate that. Thunderbolts in 2 weeks, yahoo! Last one. When Bellows said to Luce, "We'll meet again," this is what he meant, because when Luce went back in time was the first time they met. So if you think about it, it was kind of obvious that he was Philip. Oh, interesting. And do you think Bellows knew Luce was going to come to the Buoyant Isles one day? If he remembered, then yes. Huh. See, there's like that timey-wimey stuff like that I figure is going to come into some kind of play like that, and that's something I didn't think about. But I did ask that. I was like, so did he know she was coming? Did he remember that? That's something I asked in the last video, was that. So I don't know. Could we see a post-credit scene in Thunderbolts that sets up Doomsday a bit? I mean, we saw something that sets it up a little bit in Captain America. So little by little bit, probably. What's up, Avik? Remember, I'm watching from the shadows. Just kidding. Would you say that you were fully satisfied with Daredevil Born Again? Fully? I don't know. I do think the Muse thing did kind of get resolved a little abruptly. I expected that to kind of be drawn out a little bit more. But all in all, I'm mostly satisfied. I still, like I said, I think it's better than most of the Marvel shows that we've gotten, even with its faults. I don't think it passes up any of the previous, like Daredevil. Like I don't think it passes up Daredevil season 1, 2, or 3. I would say WandaVision and Loki are probably held together better overall as well, but this would be right there at 3 for me. Overall, pretty good. The brand new episodes that had nothing but new ideas, like the first half of episode 1 and the last 2 episodes, though, if we can get some consistency and everything is like those, I think season 2 will exceed expectations. I think Girls New is going to come. You rewrote that one multiple times, didn't you? I watched a real questionable crappy movies as a kid repeatedly so I can get the Minecraft movie making money. Looking at you, Pippi Longstockings and Three Ninjas. Hey, I don't want to hear no talking shit about Three Ninjas. We need a Three Ninjas We need to do Three Ninjas sequel with all three of them as adults. One of them teaches martial arts still to this day. And apparently there has been talks about reviving it after Cobra Kai's success. I think the era of being shocked that Disney Plus can get away with streamed violence ended with Daredevil finale. Now they can show whatever they want, it seems. Which makes me looking forward to that Punisher special. I'm really looking forward to that. What's up, Maestro Jax? Hello, first time catching it live. Hope your day is well. Day's been going pretty well so far. So good so far. So far, so good. Finished up my editing for the Doctor Who episodes I was behind on this morning, and then took a wee nap, and then came in here for this. Got some things to wrap up after dinner later tonight, but that hopefully will catch me up, or at least get me back on track because I still need to do the whale, get that ready to go. So I'm gonna hope to do that later tonight, and then get some recording done for some other shit. But we'll see. All in all, though, day is doing pretty good. Outside of that unruly little entitled brat in my community tab that I had to roast. I'm disappointed that the silly rights issue with Sony will make it so that Kingpin will never meet Tom Spider-Man. I mean, the weird thing to me is that Kingpin can't be in movies. That's wild. That just at all, not with Spider-Man specifically, but any movie. They can't use Vincent's Kingpin in film. That pisses me off, man. Personally, not that big a fan of the show Ellie, but people were going after the actress as evil, like her acting and the writing on her is offense for me personally. I think the actress playing Abby would have made a great show Ellie as well. She was also, I think, a fan cast for Ellie back in the day too, and now she's playing Abby. I'm just over it at this point. Whatever they chose to do, I'm following through on this journey, and I've been enjoying it for the most part. I haven't had any issues with her acting whatsoever, personally. Question if they ever got Ben Affleck to come to the Daredevil series and play a character like a rival lawyer for Matt to go back and forth with, how would you react to that? That would be wild, and I would be also very shocked beyond just seeing him, the fact that he would agree to it at this point. He seems very jaded by superhero stuff right now. Looks like all the places with Thunderbolts free showing is sold out, so you couldn't go anyway. Feel better? I feel a lot better. Thank you for checking. Yeah, likely most of the time I'm like 3 to 4 hours away from most of the places that get to have these fun little things. Like I really wanted to try to go to the Dogma thing too that they're doing with for the anniversary, but those are all in cities that I just can't make the time to go to right now for the Q&A showings and whatnot. Sucks. I would love that. When Matt said that we're going to need an army, I was thinking Jessica or Luke or even were there, or even Colleen. We're just the start. They haven't, we gotta remember they were still figuring things out and cleaning up the scraps from the old plan when this wasn't in the same universe as all of that. And so I would wholly expect, especially with the things Mike Coulter, Kristen Ritter, Finn Jones, and everybody else have been saying on their own social media feeds, I have to expect we're going to be seeing some of them again. We just couldn't show them in the end of this season because of everything else that was going on with the show. I would wholly expect to see them sometime in the future. Definitely, right? One question I still have up in the air is, because of what happened with the explosion in Matt's apartment, do people, like publicly, do people think Matt is dead? We never got an answer to that. But I think for sure we're at least going to get Jessica. But who knows who else we'll get? You know, we got so many other ties. We got ties to Kamala. We got ties to Kate. We got so much to play with right now. I just wish Spider-Man could be in there, man. Ah, fuck you, Sony. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're willing to be flexible now that they had to nuke their own universe. Yum. Let's see. And with the casting for Daredevil Born Again, I forgot to put William as Bullseye. He was kind of badass and terrifying. If this is too much, then there's no way you can get me to know what they will say at level up. We'll see. Because I'm going to be at the hospital for a couple days and I have a lot of work to do around the house, but if you can't, that's okay. I mean, I don't know what they're going to say. This was what they posted on their social media, was that there's big announcements coming. I don't know what those announcements are, but I will be there. I will be there to witness them. So I'm going to try to find a way to record my live reaction this time so I don't have to like worry about anything else, but I'm not sure the logistics of that given the setup that they have this year, but we'll see. We'll see. Recently, my dad shared with me a movie that he found called The Sixth String Samurai, which is a post-apocalyptic film made in the 90s with an extremely low budget. And recently, the writer and director of said movie took to Facebook and kind of said the Fallout show is what he was going for in Six String Samurai. Might be good for a watch or reaction. I've never heard of it, but if who knows, maybe I'll keep that in mind. At first I thought part 2 being 3 seasons was ridiculous at first, but the premiere had so much good original content that I can see us getting 2 more seasons after this. Same. And could you see them pushing the big event to episode 6 or 7 even? I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow dragged it out that far, considering episode 3 is a Eugene episode, which will be a flashback, a whole flashback episode, just like what we got with oh, why am I blanking on his name right now? Just like that flashback episode we got in season 1. Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Bill and Frank, thank you. Jesus, I was having a massive brain fart there. So, a whole episode with Eugene. So, that's a whole episode down. There's only 7 for this season. So then there's 4 episodes after that. So who knows? We got so many perspectives this time that we didn't before. So anything's possible. Just depends on what they want to do. Let's see. Ever watched The Accountant? I have not. What's up, Colin? Omni, Sir Michael. I'ma see you at Level Up. I've upgraded my Shy Guy costume. Gonna pass out. Fake gold coins. Also, you want a custom mech? I wouldn't say no to a custom mech, but I will definitely be keeping an eye out for you, Colin. I'm excited for Level Up. It was fun. Devil Born Again was a 3 out of 10 for me, sadly. Sketch. What did they do to hurt you so poorly? A 5 I could understand. A 3? What the hell? Let's see. I saw Six String Samurai when I was younger. When you watched whatever was on TV, if you were up at 1 in the morning. See, as far as I know, it's not ringing any bells to me, man. So I probably missed out on that one. Yellow, Becca. Evening, dude. Normies have started reacting to Adolescence. I mentioned it weeks ago. Have you had a chance to watch it? No. I don't have time, man. I'm locked into what I've got at the moment. Ain't starting anything new right now. Let's see. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought and humored at the idea that Fisk would wrap the season without a kill while still pulling all the strings. Then Gallows' death happened, and I immediately said, well, shit. Yeah, dude, he well shit all over that face. I can't believe the only one that didn't get any chemistry between Heather and Matt. I think on their first date and the first appearance of the two of them after that, I felt something. But like it showed us, the more Matt got involved, the less they had that chemistry, which was kind of reflected in their story. So I think that was intentional. But I thought they had a lot of chemistry in their first date, at least. But that's me. Forgot about the memberships. The green scared the crap out of me just now. I thought I was in trouble. Maybe you were. As someone who is intrigued by the Switch 2, I'm not going to buy it because the price is too much and I already have a PS5, so I think I'm good for now. I've been tempted purely because I just want to play the Legend of Zelda games without shitty fucking quality. or frame rate. And that's the best that the Switch 1 could even do at the time. And that was, it still had it was still a struggle to play that game. But that's the only thing that would pull me into is play other games that already exist. But yeah, I'm probably going to hold off for a little while. I will say that I think in the trailer, Johnny's line at the beginning of it was not the best they could have used, because it sounded a little stunted and emotionless when getting that kind of news. I mean, that's an opinion. I don't know that I share that personally. I didn't have any qualms with any of the delivery in the trailer for me personally. Ever watch Hop with James Marsden in it? No, I have not. Love that movie. I make it a tradition every Easter to watch that. I have not seen that. I think Ellie was yelling she's infected because there was no one around, now that I think about it. I mean, there was quite literally only Tommy, and Tommy knows, so there was nothing at fault there, but the brashness alone made Tommy uneasy. Which is why I think, now that we know in the show that Joel killed Eugene, I think he found out about Ellie. And Joel was like, well, sorry, you gotta die. Which makes me wonder then, why hasn't he killed, what's-her-face, his therapist? Because she's like, I know why you did it. I understand. I still hate you for it. So then if it's that, it makes me wonder why he hasn't killed her. So then maybe it's something different. So I don't know. I ended up finding out my sister's pregnant, jumping off the walls, straight Looney Tunes style. So I kind of feel that was a bit of an underreaction they used in the trailer, you know? It just really depends. I think people react to that very differently. So I've seen some reveals like that haven't been as you described. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? In the game, Abby's motivation is revealed halfway into the game. Is it really that far? I mean, still, like I said, we still don't know the full of it. Like, there's still information they've withheld. Because it's more than what she said, which we know. But I didn't think it was that far into it. I thought we knew she was a Firefly almost immediately before the halfway point. We only learned the deeper truth of it later. Right? I don't know. It's been again, like I said in my video, I've only played part 2 once, because that's all I could handle. Mandy, it's been a long time since I've been in your live. It has. How are you been? Look like you've been having a fantastic time these last few days. Very excited for Andor Season 2. Me too. And yes, these last couple of days, this last week has been phenomenal. Highly worth all of the pain and time in the lines and all of that. And there's some things that have been talked about that might be some fun little ditties we get to do on the channel that has come out of all of this. So I'm hoping, at least. I don't want to like count my eggs before they've hatched or anything, but there's been some discussions had with some awesome people about some stuff that might be something we could do on the channel, which would be fun. But we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself just yet. Let's see. I will not say overall I am liking. I will say overall I am liking what I'm seeing. The thing's voice could be a bit deeper, but overall I really like what they're doing. I really like the visual of it. Like, there's a very strong visual identity this film has that I really like, that stands out from a lot of the other films also. I'm just very interested in seeing what they're doing. I do mark everything I spend. You could write this off as a donation. Let's see. That's the fun thing about, or at least the beneficial thing about running a channel like this and stuff like that. When I go to these conventions, I can write off for taxes a lot of it, because if I, promoting the channel, talking and meeting with fans, talking with people that are involved with the shows that I'm covering and stuff like that, there's justification to be had that it's related to my job here. So that's the fun part of it. I mean, it still doesn't save everything, but it's fun little thing to keep track of. So I don't know if you can do that. Contributions to a an animal house, if you will. I'm a charity. Ellie going into the market made sense since she feels invincible because she's immune, but it put Dina's life at risk too. Also, Kat stinks as team captain. Oh yeah, she was fucking terrible. Very bad at her job. But then again, you can't really control Dina, and especially not Ellie. But yeah, no, for sure. I agree with you on all fronts there, but that's also kind of Ellie's not one to sit still. But yeah, she does feel invincible because of her immunity. But now I like though that, and I think that they're going to incorporate that the infection has evolved to bring in these archetypes and the spores that they omitted from season 1 into this, because spores are coming. We know stalkers are new to them. They were not new in the games or anything like that. So we're going to be getting, I think that's how they're going to explain some of that, some of the new infected showcased in the show. But I'm excited to see what they do with it, man. Volume 1, 6 episodes on July 3rd, followed by Volume 2, 5 episodes on July 24th. Sandman Season 2. Oh, cool. So it'll be this summer. That's fun, splitting it up like that, because of course, as they announced, they're ending it with Season 2. So I hope it's good. I hope they send it off in a very strong way. Keep track of everything I spend on. Also, happy 10th birthday to Mortal Kombat 10. Wait, has it really been 10 years since Mortal Kombat 10 came out? That's insane. What's going on, Omni? Love the new Doctor Who episode today. Likewise. Bullseye versus Hawkeye would be cool to see in live action, especially since they fought in the comics. I'd love to see that too. Like him versus Punisher, him against any marksman, I would love to see go off head to head. We play as Abby in the beginning of the game, but she comes off as a mystery. But then we encounter them when the big thing happens too. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, man. Again, like I said, memory's fuzzy. I haven't got through that point in my recap yet, so. I thought we got a little taste or hint of it at that point. Maybe it's just because I assumed. Because who would be after Joel if not Firefly? So maybe I filled in the gaps, because I felt like that was obvious, but then we get these extra information later. So I don't know. I'm not believing in a Star Wars movie until I physically see it, apart from the Mando and Grogu is happening. Yeah, same. Like, because there's such a history of them announcing so many movies and then they just disappear. I will say, as someone who's never watched Bleach, when I first saw a clip of Hollow Ichigo roaring, I was like, well, my spine is now frozen. Because holy crud, that roar in the English dub is sick. Dude, the roar of Hollow Ichigo is, yeah, it's spine tingling for sure. Like the stream. Yes, everybody, like the stream. Get a big old like. While you're here, if you're hanging on, you're having fun, chit-chatting, blah, 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 do the things. Do the YouTube things. I forget to tell you all to do that all the damn time. The Ms. Marvel episode of Daredevil was trying too hard to tie into the MCU, in my opinion, but the episode was still great. I like it as a standalone, for sure, and I think some of these Marvel shows need more standalone episodes. But yeah, it did, like, it broke up the momentum between episode 4 and 6, which that was the problem I had. Even though the robbery tied into the war that Fisk had set in motion, so it was still tied to what was going on, just really loosely. But it was a fun episode. It was a really fun episode. But yeah, but that's a remnant of the old plan too. That was the old crew. Let's mine and craft. Let's Minecraft. Amazing line from Jack Black. Is that a real line? What if kids are watching the Daredevil finale though? They shouldn't be watching the finale. It's not for kids. I have notebooks and write all my expenses and bills. See, I need to do that, especially for my business expenses. I go back at the end of the year and just comb through all my digital receipts and hope I can find everything, which is not the best way to do it. I haven't caught one of your lives in so long. Hope you're doing great. Well, thank you, Poetic Dance. Welcome back. I am doing pretty good. Pretty good. Haven't watched Daredevil Born Again still, because I'm waiting for my dad to not be busy with the things, because I watch almost all Marvel stuff with him. Well, we've been talking a lot of spoilers in this session here today. What's up, Venomized? Just saw your Doctor Who reactions. Got me thinking it's ironic that Mrs. Flood said that the show's ending May 24th, with the show actually not being renewed yet. Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that in the in the video, is that there is no official green light for a season 3 right now. I mean, the finale's the week after that. So I jumped the gun there. I was like, oh, the finale's on that date, when it's not really. But that's the idea, though. But yeah, the fate of the show currently is kind of unknown. How come they can't have Kingpin in the movies? Something to do with bullshit legal rights and stuff to do with the character and who owns the rights. Past that, I don't really know, but that's what Vincent D'Onofrio said in an interview a few weeks ago. By the way, how did the portal just randomly open when the White Rabbit saw it as a kid? Like they mentioned in the storyline or whatever, they do just happen sporadically. There are just tears that happen naturally. Most of the time they're just unstable, but they can allow access of demons to come and go. I mean, even without his intervention, demons, and this is a thing in the games too, there's enough of a rift and a tear and a bleed over from the demon world for there to be full-time demon hunters in the real world, even without a door actively being open. So keep that in mind. Like, there are swaths of real, like, professional demon hunters without the need of actual major breach. But yeah, so coming to and from is not a difficult matter. It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. But he was able to find these tears and force them open. Because Sony sucks and won't let go of Spidey. That's the main thing, probably. I didn't think that he was ingrained with that, but I guess he is too tightly roped in with it. It's fine not to like the character, but to roast people online for going after Bella because they were petty as hell, they can't separate the character from the actress. Yep, agreed. It's just my personal opinion, but part 1 should have been 2 seasons since there was so much they left out. I don't think it needed to be 2 seasons. I don't think they left out enough to justify 2 seasons. Maybe like 2 or 3 more episodes, but not a whole season. They re-releasing Revenge of the Sith in cinemas. Man, I am tempted. Happy 20th to episode 3. Dude, I remember seeing that at the midnight showing and everybody was dressed up. People brought their lightsabers and it was a wild time. It was a school night. I remember that my senior year. And it was just a fun time. It was a fun time. Hold on. I want to double check that real quick. Yeah, it was my senior year. No, sorry. Correction. It was the end of my junior year. Womp womp. Let's see. As far as everyone knew, Matt was still in the hospital, so no one would think he died in that explosion. I guess. I mean, unless it hadn't got out that he left the hospital yet. It all happened in the same evening. So that's a good point. That's a very, very good point. I smiled at the Blink mention in the latest Doctor Who episode, but it still frustrates me that they didn't use that episode as a template for the mood and tone for future episodes. I know we disagree, but I think the concept of the show could be so much better than what we had in recent years. Oh, wait. I'm not exactly sure I understand what you mean.
But I do love Blink. By the way, Omni, thanks for having genuine conversations with us. I try my best, man. I do my best. Cobra Kai, Quan, Rickenberger? What the hell? Oh, all right. Are you a fan of the Goofy movie, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary? I am, both of them. I do enjoy both of the Goofy movies. The songs? Bangers, man. What's up, KN? Wanted to jump in and say, hey, what up, dude? Hope you're doing good. I am doing swell so far. Excited for that Andor. I just realized in my head, what in the world happened to Marcy? I thought the same thing, man. I mean, I was thinking, where's Marcy? Where's Mahoney? Like, no mentions of either of them. Not even her firm, as far as I can remember, got a mention in this episode, or in this season. So yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, because I feel like she would have some very strong feelings about what happened to Foggy. Given a lot of time has passed since the end of season 3 and where we pick up in the show. So they may have broken up. Who knows? Mahoney may have just moved out of New York. We don't know, but I don't know. Oh, wow. So they're doing a whole episode on Eugene. I didn't know that. That's what I've heard. I've heard that echoed a lot. So I assume it's true. He also said that the Jackson set will be a main set going forward. Okay, interesting. DDBA? I keep seeing that. I want to say database admin. DDBA 7 out of 10. I can sit with that. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 overall. 7, 8 if I'm feeling a little like really generous. Those last 2 episodes though were each 10 out of 10s in their own right. That stalker was super creepy. Its face was gross. Yes, it was. But yeah, that's the thing though. The stalkers, they don't act like the other ones. They are smarter and they try to get you to come to them. And they're also super quiet. When you're scrolling around the game, you'll only just catch them just kind of like their head poking out. And then they'll retreat and wait. You have to just listen very intently sometimes. Born again with cameos from Daredevil. Hey, Matt is Daredevil. Daredevil is Matt. Stop it. Maybe an adult, but gosh darn it, I still love mini eggs. What I meant was like the egg hunt. Sorry, mini eggs perfectly fine. Selfishly, I'm really excited to see reactions to the big event. Dude, it's one of those things where I wish I didn't know what was coming. But the reactions of the people who have no fucking clue and have managed to stay and remain unspoiled, it's gonna be juicy. Anywho, that's about it for me. See y'all next time. And remember, just because some asshat on the internet is saying something is bad, don't let that deter you from liking it all the same. Peace out, Logan, and agree. Fisk really crushed it this season. Yes, he did. No, whoa. You said that you finished season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I wanted to ask. I haven't. I have not said such a thing. Do you think it would be cool if they brought Robbie as Ghost Rider and give him the Marvel Sparkle Circle and say, what I miss? I would like to see him involved at all, but remember, I also have not finished season 4. Just to be clear. Let's see. Hoping Vanessa gets humbled real soon since she instigated and broke the deal Matt and Fisk had at the end of season 3. Can't stand her and Fisk eating happily, and that I beat you moment needs to pay off. I also hope so. Hopefully there's some, because right now Fisk, the whole fam, like she just got away with all of this, and he's like, yeah, I know, it's fine. I always knew. I had everything planned. I was pulling all the strings even above all of you, what you had going on. I knew everything. And just Fisk making it out on top at the end of it is so heartbreaking. It's a boss move that Joel killed Eugene and then made his wife be his therapist. Best scene of the episode that deserves an enemy, an Emmy, and an enemy. Yeah, dude, that is batshit insane. And that she was like, I don't think he knew that she knew until she said it though. But yeah, he would know though that he killed her husband and then is sitting here in front of her like nothing's different. And then when she finally is like, we're putting all our cards on the table, and then he still can't tell her the truth. Huge. Some fans that thought the big event would happen in episode 1. I think it'll be episode 2 or 4. Well, shit. Yeah, so it can't be the final episode based on some things we've seen in the trailer now that I'm thinking about it. Because Ellie makes it a pretty decent way into the story from what we see in the trailer. So yeah, it's probably gonna be tomorrow. At the very latest, maybe episode 4. So I'm right there with you. God damn, I'm still not ready for the rest of season 2 of The Last of Us. Gonna cry so hard because I know what's gonna happen. Don't see it so much as a boss move, more than like desperation and him genuinely trying to improve himself to fix the rift between him and Ellie. You're right, boss move isn't the right word, but it is kind of fucked up because he knows. But yes, he is there genuinely trying to improve himself for their relationship, him and Ellie. But it is so fucked up to have done that and just sitting there. Let's see. On my 3rd playthrough of part 1, part 2 I'll play again eventually too. Yeah, one day. My payment went through. I think I'm good. Calaman pasta sauce did nothing this time. I hope. Hopefully. So far, so good. Did you see the Falcon from the MCU is playing one of Abby's friends? I did notice that. He was the one in the beginning of the episode. I did indeed notice that. I did not call it out though. Business Omni. Terrible business Omni. What are your predictions for Devil May Cry season 2? Like I mentioned before, I think we're going to see obviously I think we're going to start off probably with something from Virgil, maybe seeing what happened to him, how he got picked up by Mundus back in the day, from that flashback from what Dante remembers to his side of the story, what he believes about the world, what he thinks is going on, and then we'll jump into Dante. I don't know how we'll get to Dante waking up, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what they're doing here. I saw an interesting theory though that Mundus is orchestrating this war between the human world and his own as a way to foster allegiances from his own people against a common enemy, to kind of rally, like especially with Virgil going in and be like, Mundus saved you, trying to get them on his side in this push of propaganda and manipulation. I think that could be fun if they play into that, because there is that red glowy-eyed demon on Baines' staff that we never followed up on. So who knows? I like how they are making a big deal out of the stalkers, which reminded me of how the zombies are evolving in the Walking Dead universe currently. Yeah, there is that. Also, what do you think of Isabella Merced as Dina so far? She is delightfully charming. She is, I liked Dina in the game, but like she's got so much more charm, I think, in this iteration right now. Imagine there's a rights issue that prevents Bullseye from appearing in the movies. I hope not. That would suck, but who knows? I think right now it's fine keeping them all down on the surface level, but when you come down to like Spider-Man, that's the biggest hang up, man. We know he's just swinging around in New York while this is going on. Hell, they named him. Well, not named him. They're like, oh, dressed as a spider. But like, I don't know. That's the biggest hang up. Would you want to see the Weeping Angels again in Doctor Who? In my opinion, I would love to see them again. Not because it's my favorite villain, but because we haven't seen them in years. I feel like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I feel like every time they showed up and we learned more, it kind of, I started to not like them as much, especially in the Jodie episode. Like when we went to like that village of them, I didn't like that. I did not care for that too much. But, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I love seeing a Dalek show up. I don't mind seeing Cybermen all that much, but I giddy up anytime I hear a Dalek spewing its hateful bigotry. I don't know why. I just love their stupid ass voices and their dumb ass design. But like the Weeping Angels like started off so fucking cool. And even the second time they showed up was still pretty solid. But then like every time after that, it just got goofier and goofier to me. But that's me. That's me. Let's see. Bits. Bits they showed in the Sandman announcement trailer look awesome. It's up to you if you want to give it a watch. Is it like a teaser or is it like a full ass trailer? I don't know if I have time to react to it or not, but like, I'll at least check it out. You can't kill Catherine O'Hara. Kevin! So interested in seeing the Rian Johnson trilogy. I highly doubt that's ever going to happen. So, okay, a teaser, thank you. It's a real line from the Minecraft movie, and everybody in the theater clapped for that. Literally anything that Jack Black did, everybody in the theater clapped. Dude, I've seen some crazy, like batshit insane. Like I will not see that movie. I don't want to see it, but I will not see it in a theater based on all the shit I've been seeing. I'd lose my mind. We meet Abby and her friends when she wakes up, and Owen takes a review of Jackson through the snow, and they mention talking about him. They didn't mention Joel. But when we pick back up with her, again, not after that moment. After that moment, though, when we come back to that, I thought there was something. I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm going to give up. It's been too long. One more thing before I leave. Not sure if you've heard this, but there's an anime from back in the 80s or 90s called Goku Midnight Eye, where the main character is voiced by then unknown, that's wild to say, Steve Bloom. Hope to get a reaction of it from you because that OVA is probably the epitome of 80s and 90s anime. If you've seen it, you know I'm right in both the best and worst ways possible. Yeah, never heard of it. I've never heard of it, so maybe one day, man. To me, Abby. Do you think Lucia we saw was her or just possibly a lookalike? And do we know Trish will be teased at the end of season 2? Probably teased at the end of season 2, and that was 100% Lucia. Especially with RC Arias showing up at the end of the season. It's why would you include a lookalike? Yeah, no, that was 100% Lucia. You should definitely check out Torchwood if you haven't at some point. It's just more graphic Doctor Who without the Doctor revolving around Captain Jack Harkness and his team. I've watched it like 2 or 3 times and I have never enjoyed it. I've tried, but I could never get into it. And I watched it all the way through like twice at least. I've never finished the Sarah Jane Chronicles, but I definitely want to at some point. But yeah, I was never a fan of Torchwood. Could never get into it. To me, Abby, you killed my dad, my community. Well, that's the gist of it. Good thing I have bad memory, because every time you talk about Daredevil Born Again, I will forget about it. Good. Keep it up. Sorry earlier, I meant I roasted people online for going after Bella. Deleted that comment and typed it correctly. I don't condone going after the actress at all. Okay, I understood what you said, even if you typed it wrong. So I know what you meant. And maybe I conveyed that poorly when I was saying it, but I knew what you meant. I knew you weren't condoning any of that. So, I don't know. Maybe I just corrected it in my head or didn't even think, overwrote what you actually wrote with what I thought you wrote. Whatever. All's good. I know. We're fine. What did you think of the F4 trailer that came out of nowhere? Check out my reaction to it. You may have talked about it, but I came here late, so I didn't hear you if you liked it. There's a whole ass video about it. Go look at it. What would you want from Devil May Cry Sparta prequel game? And would it be hilarious if Dante had a daughter that he didn't know about it? And if DMC 6 happened, it would be funny to see Nero's reaction. That would be funny. To be honest, I would not be shocked if Dante is like a 40, 50-year-old virgin. I wouldn't be shocked. In the slightest. I'm shocked still that Virgil procreated. Obviously, it was out of necessity. But it's still wild to me that Virgil, out of the two of them, is the one that procreated. Even if it was to meet an end. But I think a Sparta prequel game would be pretty sick. Like, set in the demon world, and then just him and what causes him to fall out of allegiance with Mundus and then fighting his way out, and then maybe ending with him sealing off, defeating the armies, defeating Mundus, and then sealing them away, and then it ends with him meeting Ava years later. Post-credit scene, the babies are born. And then hell, maybe even find out where he goes. We don't have to get like we don't have to follow him, but figure out where he actually went when he left them, because we don't know. We didn't see Foggy Funeral. Mercy could have been there. So true. So true. I think saying Daredevil is disappointing is just silly. I think it's really good and deep, to be honest. Little problems with Muse, but connectiveness, but it's pretty good. I agree. I agree with you. I'm right there with you on that one. I yell, run at me, like Ellie did with the Stalkers when I played the game. Did it work? But yeah, I do remember that too. Did you see the memes of everyone saying Spider-Man is a fraud? No, I've not seen such memes. Never Born Again Season 1 was a 10 out of 10 for me, even though I know some things weren't amazing. Then by definition, if you know some things weren't amazing, would it be maybe a 9 out of a 10? If it's not all amazing, then it can't be a 10 out of 10. But feel free to rate it how you rate it, Christian. Now looking forward to the big event. I am for just to get it over with, and also to see other people's reactions. Stopped going on egg hunts when I was 12 or 13. I can't remember the last time for me, man. Probably around the same time, maybe earlier. Getting vibes? When? Huh? What? What do you mean? I feel bad for citizens who live in the Devil May Cry universe. People could just be waiting for a subway train and boom, they get eaten. Pretty much. I'm 37 and I'm Easter egg hunting tomorrow with the fam. Hey, if it was an event where it was appropriate for me to do so, I would probably get right on that because I love searching for shit. But 37 team. To be honest, the new Karate Kid Legends to me doesn't feel like a cash grab. I don't think it's a cash grab. Nah, well, it doesn't feel like a cash grab, but the fact that they announced it behind everybody's backs and came up with the story behind everybody's backs, knowing Cobra Kai was about to end, and it's Sony, I think it is a cash grab that just happens to not feel like one. Is Eugene in the first season? No. He is not. By Joel reaction, he didn't know. He wouldn't go to her otherwise. I would hope not. But who knows? In that community, he would have had to have known they were married, though. I just don't think he didn't know that she didn't know. Or that he was shocked that she knew what happened. I think. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense. Let's see. Since Cobra Kai ended, what's your favorite fight from the show? And side note, it was crazy in part 3. Kenny had no lines. Yeah, he didn't have a single line. I don't know if Devin did either. But yeah, no lines whatsoever. But they focused on everybody they needed to. But as far as favorite fight from the show, I don't know. It might be the Hawk Robbie fight from season 4, because I think that's the best the choreography has been executed. I think that might be it for me. For including everything like cinematography, editing, all that stuff, Miguel versus Axel was super good because the way they were cutting to all the previous lessons and stuff like that. I really dug that. I'm so hyped for Easter eggs tomorrow. Assume this time tomorrow I will be in a chocolate coma. Well, be careful with that. Who would you want to fan cast as Dante's daughter if he had one? And do you think Ava was an Umbra witch? And would that be interesting idea for Sparta prequel game? And they hated each other at first. I mean, it could be interesting. I mean, it would be a kind of a story trope to kind of do that. But as far as like a fan cast for Dante's daughter, I don't know. Depends on the age. But yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment. I think the therapist was making a statement about working with Joel closely as a way of saying you have no effect on me. That's a good way. That's a good read. I like that. What Walking Dead character could you see surviving in the Last of Us universe? Daryl. You can't kill that dude. He's immortal. We best hope Dina never finds out Ellie is infected, or else Joel will go after her like Eugene. Well, about that. Trying to complete a sentence. Love you, Michael, but when I pay for stuff, bad things happen. Will insta you when you've signed off. Okay. Wait, is it happening again then? What the hell? Hope not. Hope that's not the implication here. As was found as Dina is better than the game, Dina, in my opinion. She's having a good year with The Last of Us and soon to be Superman. Oh yeah, I forgot she's a hot girl in Superman, isn't she? Diablo, Polka Dot Man, and now Dr. Phosphorus. It's a teaser. My dad had a good point that Joel pushing the old guy wasn't okay, and that instead of breaking his hip, Joel should have pulled him outside and have a heated talk with him. I don't think he pushed him. Did he push him? I thought he slugged him. I don't remember now at this point. But the guy was being a bigot. So that is a love tap in Joel's nature. That was him holding back. Otherwise, as we saw, Joel would just murder him otherwise. But I mean, it's how it happened in the game, man. Pushed him. Okay. I don't know why. I thought he slugged him across the face. But fuck Seth. He can keep his sandwich. I hope we get sets in the show that we didn't see in the game. I'm sure we will. Catherine Hara, I think Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Wait, was she Sally? I did not know that, if that's true. Oh, I'm curious. What been happening in the cinemas? I know nothing about anything around the Minecraft movie. Because of kids like escalating and social media and virility of like video recording shit, it's becoming a kind of trend to go to the Minecraft movie just to yell and scream and throw popcorn and wreck the place. Some people going into the movie with bags of popcorn just to throw it, like bringing their own shit and like just making it this whole thing. Like, so it went from genuinely children being excited to things to people making it into this big TikTok trend, and it's just obnoxious. And yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to hear anybody like meme out with shit like that. I don't know. I can't handle it. I'd lose my shit. Sorry, Omni. I thought you finished it because in your Last of Us episode 1 reaction, you said I finally got through the season of Agents Shield with Gabriel Luna in it. I think I said I finally got to the season of Agents of Shield with Gabriel Luna in it. If I said through, I misspoke for sure. Sarah Jane Adventures stay consistently fun. I still like it. Still breaks me my heart what happened to her, man. Rest in peace. How'd you feel about a Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4 remake with today's graphics, and have the Devil May Cry 4 story actually finished because the original DMC4 wasn't finished? I love that. I would absolutely love that. Remake them all with the RE engine and just kind of pump them out and polish it up. And yeah, I'd totally be down for that. It's like what they're doing with like the Resident Evil games. Go for it. Don't worry, I don't think either of you came across as condoning it. Good. I'm glad. So what is your beverage of choice tonight? It's not, it was the only choice I had. So I've just got my American honey whiskey here. Because honestly, I left not enough wine from the last time in the bottle to even fill a full glass. So I just went with this. Speaking of the whiskey, Critical Role partnered with Matthew Lillard's Quest End, and they are releasing a limited edition malted whiskey, and I pre-ordered it. So I think it comes out in a couple months, so I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to try it. I got one that I'm probably never going to open, and then one bottle to consume. And have you managed to find pink gin where you are? I might have to look into sending you some if I can. I've still never been able to find any actual legitimate pink gin, just dry gin. I don't see it anywhere around here for me. I have an eye exam on Monday and I'm a bit worried and hope it goes okay. Well, I hope it goes okay as well. Hope everything's fine. And I think Foggy is still alive. I also think Foggy is still alive. After that scene, Abby goes to the location alone because she doesn't give a fuck, and she meets a bunch of infected. Joel says her, Abby. Okay. I don't know. I guess I just assumed, because I feel like that's the obvious thing. I don't think that's a big reveal that they're fireflies. Because I don't know. That's just me. I assumed as much. I know that for a fact when I played the game, but that's why I guess I thought it was said. Bella felt like the most like Game Ellie in the dance scene and any scene with Joel. They have really good chemistry. Agreed. They have really, really good chemistry. I like watching the interviews with those two together. For the next episode of Heartstopper, just get ready to glare at Ben. That's all I'll say. Anytime that fucker shows up, I glare at him, so just gonna be more of that. Dante did have a daughter. I think Lucia is the likely candidate to be the mother, even if it's ridiculous, cause Lucia was the one to actually seem to be waiting. Yeah, she is waiting for him to come back and visit eventually. That was the way they were left off. And I think he has in some of the side media, but probably. It'd be her or Lady for sure, but I don't think him and Lady really have that kind of a relationship. And Trish is just off limits. Oh no. Oh no, credit card warning. Caliban, no! There was an interesting question in a video I watched about The Last of Us having a crossover with The Walking Dead. I mean, that would be interesting. Sorry, I meant that the Karate Kid Legends feels like a cash grab in the marketing. Oh, okay, then yes. And the trailer is kind of off and goofy to me. I like the first trailer. The second trailer, though, when he's like, I guess we are going to be making a Karate Kid. Dude, my eyes just exploded into the back of my head. That was so cringy. But I'm going to be optimistic about it, or at least try. Eugene is already dead in the game, who is one of the only characters to die of natural causes at 73. Yeah, they definitely, that is something I misremembered for sure. But in this, Joel killed him. So, how would it be if we got a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype based on Transformers? Like a Yu-Gi-Oh kind of game based on Transformers? I'm not sure what you mean. He's right, hunting is fun, plus prizes. If Eugene was infected, I feel like everything makes sense. Is that not possible? I mean, I guess it could be possible. Maybe, but that's not the vibe I got. Wait a minute, there's Cadbury's worldwide egg thingy that makes you hide egg anywhere for someone? We could have hid chocolate eggies for Omni. Yeah, I mean, we do Easter egg hunts. That's a whole thing. Not always specifically Cadbury's, but just Easter egg, little plastic Easter eggs filled with candy or treats or whatever you find. I think in part 3 of Cobra Kai, they only wanted to focus on the OGs, and I think that's the case, and give everybody everybody that matters, like largely that we've been following the whole time, their closure. Devin had one line after he beat Wolf. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Speaking of video game adaptations, did you see the Yakuza games getting adapted on Prime Video? I did. I've never played any of those though. The show was kind of mid, but the games it's adapted from are some of my favorites of all time. I've seen some memes from it, but I've never played it. But a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype of things like Easter Egg Bunny to Santa Claus to Tooth Fairy or Sandman? I have no idea what you're trying to say. Angar, I'm sorry. I'm so lost on what's happening here. I think a good spinoff for Cobra Kai is like street fighting or something like that, and act like it's not a part of the universe, and then you see in the background Johnny on TV winning. Oh, that would be cool. That'd be interesting. I hope we get a young Miyagi flashback if we're talking about anything. Booshed. My days of speaking of Daryl. I rewatched the music video for Judas by Lady Gaga the other day and never realized Norman Reedus played Judas in it. It's good to know. We're all good. Checked it all up. Someone doesn't like me, but I think it's all sorted. The payments you got from me tonight were me. Promise. I'm glad everything's okay, but the second you did, someone tried? Am I understanding that right? How cool it would be if we got a Darkstalkers animated show one day? Morgan, sign me up. Morgan's in it, sign me up. I don't know a lot about Darkstalkers, but I know about Morgan. For fuck's sake, that sucks. His face when Ellie told him that she didn't need his help. I wanted to hug him. Sad Pedro just makes me want to hug him just in general. He just looks like a sad, lonely puppy dog. Spinoff could have completely original characters. That's true. Poor Cinema, oh please. Yeah, dude. At these Minecraft showings, yeah, I do not envy them at all. Did you catch how Alan Cummings, the actor who played Nightcrawler in the original X-Men films, who's returning, played Mr. Ring-a-Ding on today's episode of Doctor Who? I thought I recognized the voice. I knew it had to be somebody, but I couldn't place it. I did not catch it though. I knew it sounded familiar, but I couldn't place it. Do you have any movie or show that you have 10 out of 10s, but still have nitpickies? I really reserve my 10 out of 10s, I think, for something I don't have nitpickies on. That's okay. To be fair, I would call Avatar: The Last Airbender a 10 out of 10 show. But then you have an episode like The Divide, which I don't dislike, but it's kind of mean to being a bad episode. But I don't have a problem with it, I guess. I don't know. Like, that and Breaking Bad, I think, are the only 10 out of 10 shows I've watched. I'd say that I would give a 10 out of 10 that I can at least think of immediately. Maybe I'm just being a stickler. Maybe I'm just being a dick. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I'm just teasing a little too much or taking it too much to heart. Because then if I was like, if you got a problem, it can't be perfect, right? So like the closest or the most it could be is like a 9.9 out of 10, right? That's where my head's at. But maybe I'm just being a dick. It's definitely true. O'Hara is a Sally. She also played Shock. Oh, I did not know this. I really hate the right situation with Spider-Man and Hulk and how they've affected by, you know. Yeah, dude, it's so annoying, man. Oh, we got a super chat from Tej. I work at an AMC and have been straight up telling theaters before the movie starts to be good or see me go hood. Like you throw it in a rhyme here. Also, thanks for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. content. I've been seeing that too. People trying to like get ahead of things. Like be like, hey guys, if you fuck around, you will find out. People have had the police called into these Minecraft theaters to escort people out. it's been kind of crazy, man. Kudos to Tej being on the front lines here. Or is that just TJ? Am I being an idiot? I think I'm being an idiot. It's TJ, isn't it? Fuck. Anyway, Tej, what's up, bud? You're Tej now. Let's see. I've never played the Devil May Cry games. I'm curious, does New York exist in the games like in the show? The only thing I remember in the games, I think all the locations, as far as I'm aware, are all fictional. So I don't think so, but I don't remember. I think they might resurrect Foggy, to be honest. Resurrect, or maybe he faked his death. Protective custody type thing. I wonder. But resurrection is a possibility. It's not uncommon in this universe, especially in Daredevil. Adriana and Rebecca just joined. How are you today? Doing good. Welcome, welcome. How would you feel if they got a Van Helsing game in a similar playstyle to Devil May Cry games? I think that could be cool. But Van Helsing or Helsing? Ooh, you know how some special whiskeys have gold flakes and little trinkets in them? Imagine if CR released a whiskey with a dice in them. Yeah, I don't think there is anything in it like that. It does come with a pen. It's called Whitestone Courage. It's from the breweries of Whitestone. So I'm excited. I've decided it's supposed to be sweet, malty, and I like myself some sweet, so might not be I'm just hoping it's not an ass whiskey. Ooh, a boba tea with a boba is like a shaped dice. That would be cool. I actually thought Abby was a surviving cannibal going after Joel at first when playing the game. Really? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Just with the way it ends, it's just heavily implying that there are consequences to Joel's actions with what he did to the Fireflies. So that's always been my read, but I've never heard anybody say that though. Sorry, marketing Bex took over. Also, the therapist wasn't mad at Joel killing Eugene. It was how he did it, which made her livid. God damn it. I just want to know what happened, man. When Joel was killing the Fireflies to get to Ellie, one of them ran off. If I remember correctly, so that was probably the person that told Abby's group about how Joel looked like. True. And also when he was hired and they were expecting him to, when they knew he was coming with the package he was meant to be delivering, they probably had a rough description as well to keep an eye out for him. What are we, some sort of Karate Kid or something? Yeah, dude. Even in the game, he doesn't kill everyone. True. True. Karate Kid Legends, they said anyone can audition, and then they got well-known older actor, which was like cheating the fans for me personally. Huh? I mean, for the kid, they did an open casting call for the kid, looking for somebody of Asian descent, and could I think the conditions were they needed to be of Asian, at least some sort of Asian descent, and they needed to be able to speak, or would be beneficial if they could speak Chinese and English and new martial arts. Those were the only casting conditions I remember. And then I think they got the kid from American Born Chinese, one of the kids. I think that's what he was known from. But I'm not sure what older actor you're talking about about the open auditions. Because as far as I know, the auditions were only for the new kid. Because Ralph and from Jump, Ralph and Jackie were announced. So I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about something else, and I'm confused. Ever watched the G.I. Joe movies or animated show back in the day? I'm hoping they make a comeback. I've seen the G.I. Joe films, the newer ones, but I've never seen the show. I'm interested in that Darth Maul animated show that was announced. Same. Let's see. Speaking of Walking Dead, I'm hyped for Dead City Season 2, Zombie Sundays, and Mushroom Mondays. The Last of Us are back. Throwing stuff while hate watching is like damaging or destroying TVs because the viewers didn't like what they saw. Hey, I don't get it, man. The archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh means like a set of cards. Like, for example, Red Eye's archetype means a deck set of monsters that follow. a similar type. Okay, I still don't know what you're talking about before though. I'm hyped the new Mall animated series is coming. Hear me out, Infinity War was a 10 out of 10. I like Infinity War a lot. I don't think I have a lot of qualms with Infinity War now that I think about it. That was Alan Cummings. I knew the voice. I knew the voice. I can't get my inflections right today, man. Meant the online Cadbury thingy that lets you hide an egg anywhere in the world, regardless of where you are, and sends clues to the person so they can go find it. Wait, what? Who hides it? Does somebody for the company just go and hide it for somebody else to find? That's a little weird. To be honest, I thought the lightsaber fights in the Phantom Menace were amazing. Oh, they are amazing. What was the worst show / movie you have seen? Mine was Ginny and Georgia. I was bored, to be honest. Worst show? Did I have to finish it? Or are we talking like I watched an episode and then never went back? Or what? Worst movie I've seen, mostly just because I was bored out of my fucking mind, was probably The Turning. Because there's bad movies I will enjoy watching, like The Room, Birdemic, Troll 2. Like, they're terrible movies, but I enjoy it. That movie was just ass. If Thunderbolts were to get a sequel, who would you want to be added to the team? Love for Elektra, Punisher, and maybe Deadpool. Punisher or Punisher or Elektra, I think would be really cool. Would be cool if they got Darkstalkers anime by Eddie Shankir and leads into the Marvel vs. Capcom anime. It'd be a cool idea, especially if Dante did have a daughter and she could couple with Nero's Jr. I mean, there's very well a possibility they could be building out a Capcom universe with everything we've seen in the first season. You know, just because there was a toy of Mega Man doesn't mean there's actually a world in which he is a real, like kind of like Tron. There's a server where the Mega Man characters actually live and exist. We know Raccoon City exists. There's allusions and references to Darkstalkers. There's Commando, or what was it called? Whatever the Cyber Commando, whatever the fuck the Commando one is. What else was there? There was something else too I'm forgetting about. Street Fighter. Just because there's a video game doesn't mean those characters exist. We've seen that where characters in universe become popular and then there's media made about them. Just because we saw a Street Fighter arcade machine doesn't mean that Ryu and Ken don't actually exist in the world. It's very possible that this could happen. It's both. It's Tej and TJ. Fair enough. Really hoping they reveal in season 2 that Foggy's death was faked. I'm sure I'm kind of confident they might. Sorry I couldn't stay long, but my bed is calling. I'm desperately in need to get some sleep. Good night, everyone. Take it easy, Bandy. It was nice having you in the chat. It has been too long. Sorry, Michael. I sent a message to you on Insta. All good. All good. Do we have a standard when it comes to using chemicals to stop your heart? Maybe Foggy was trying to let Matt think he died. Yeah, I don't know. It's all about the logistics of what all was going on. You know, who knows? Who really knows? We don't know. But it is a possibility. Sorry, why are peeps causing chaos in Minecraft movie? Because if they want it to fail, maybe they don't buy a ticket. They're not trying to make it fail. They're just going to, it's part of the fun of going to the Minecraft movie is to throw a fucking trash party. Like, it has nothing about causing the movie to fail. That's part of the fun, is going to the movie, paying for the movie, and just with your fucking popcorn. But then there's the people that are putting like hand lotion all over the seats and just smearing shit everywhere, and it's just like the goal is to destroy the theater, not the film. Get ready for the next episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mallory Jensen, who plays Ada, really kills it in the next episode. I'm excited. We're down to the final 2 episodes of this season, man. I think I heard someone say Minecraft movie was like The Room. I know I didn't say that, but I wonder. Let's see. How would Nero's Devil Breaker gimmick work now that Nero has a real arm? And I was talking about Van Helsing Monster Hunter. Okay. I wasn't sure if you meant Van Helsing like the Monster Hunter or Helsing like the vampire anime. I wouldn't mind a monster hunting anime. Monsters that look chef's kiss. I'd be down for that, for sure. It's ironic that Joel happened to steal the one car in the garage that belonged to Abby's group. That is also kind of hilarious when you point it out. What are your thoughts on the new Harry Potter series casting? I think it's really weird to cast who they did as Snape, given Snape's history and allegiances. If written well, I mean, it wouldn't be something they could talk about in the books at all. But if they write it well, it could be a really interesting conversation, but it's a really weird choice to make the only black guy a racist bigot hunting people of mixed races and stuff, and he's also an incel who's upset about, you know, the class popular kid taking his girl. It's just weird. Like, no qualms about the actor themselves, because I've seen them in other things. They're good. It's just a really weird choice when he's the only one they've swapped. I feel like that's the out of anybody that they did, like why that one? Why that character? Like, I feel like anybody else, it would have been perfectly reasonable, but why? I don't know. It's just a weird fucking choice. But I don't know. I've got no real intent to watch it either, though. But who knows? That could change. We'll see. But yeah, let's see. They were heavily marketing Abby as a Firefly since before season 2 with the posters. Yeah, and the posters for sure. It's like straight up in the marketing for Abby. I thought it was so obvious. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. We're going to move on past that. Woohoo, 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 yeah. What's up, Kit Fisto? Kit Unlubed Fisting. What a name. Now you're okay, Omni. Attack on Titan is one show I have a 10 out of 10. Yes, I will also give Attack on Titan a 10 out of 10. There were some things I didn't love, but the show has peak writing, and among other things, I think that's impossible to give any lower score than a 10. Fair. Let's see. Also remember when people were being disrupted by singing in the Wicked movie screenings. Yeah, I had a little bit of that in my screening for Wicked. On top of just a group of teens that would not get off their phones. It had the flash on and everything, taking selfies and Snapchats, or like one row in front of me. Karen Michael was about to come out, but I guess it was they weren't used to staying up that late, because after the halfway point in the movie, it looked like they were all about to fall asleep, and they calmed down a lot. I don't know. I get ads for it every season, every Easter. I Google. Worst show for me was The Acolyte, personally, or Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, those are. I mean, if we're talking like Disney Plus shows or Star Wars shows, yeah, definitely, for sure. The Acolyte goes below Book of Boba Fett for me, but I got a lot of issues with Book of Boba Fett too. But I've definitely seen some worse TV shows, like fucking season 1 of Titans, and then Naomi. The first episode turned me off. I couldn't. It gave me a physical headache. The cinematography hurt my head. The acting was the worst I've ever seen in a pilot episode of a show. And I never finished it though, but yeah. Omn1 show was also garbage. I liked a lot of Obi-Wan, mostly all the Obi-Wan stuff, and the Vader thing towards the end. I dug all that. All the Leia stuff I also liked. The Reva stuff it was a good idea, but I don't think they had enough time to flesh it out like they wanted to. So I kind of do wish they just kind of focused on Obi and Leia and all that. But I don't have a lot of problems personally with Obi-Wan. And that's to Kit's new comment. I know I'm jumping out of case here, but it's relevant to the one I had up on the screen. My bad. The audition process, they said, we're open to more than one race, like my bad, open to more than one race, like ages 15 to 17, I believe. And the vibe was then not someone not well known or branded actor. I did find it a little interesting that it turned out to be somebody who has already been on a show, so it wasn't like an unknown. So maybe that's what you meant. But I do remember them specifically aiming for a specific race, though. But it has been a minute. I mean, quite obviously, it's kind of it's integral to the setting. But I don't remember. It's been a while, man. Sad Andor is ending. Me too. Go boom. Worst show I've seen was a superhero show called The Cape. Never saw it. Do you think Ahsoka Season 2 will be the final live-action Star Wars show we get? I highly doubt it. Oh my God, could you imagine Frank Castle and Deadpool meeting? That would be really surreal. It's wild that we're getting 2 years in a row with a Star Wars movie and an Avengers movie in the same month. That's a good point. I didn't think about that aspect. Have I ever watched The Breakfast Club? No, I have not. They just had a reunion. I'm so happy to see them all together again. Yeah, that's one of those movies. I've never seen it. Never seen it. Now I'm sad. You can only hide a physical Eggie for someone on mainland UK. Everyone else in the world, it's a virtual experience. Whatever the fluff that means. Yeah, maybe it's like AR. Like Pokemon Go, you gotta turn on your camera and be like, oh, yo, egg. 2026 is wild with movies. We have Doomsday, Mando and Grogu, Hunger Games, Lord of the Rings, Supergirl, Clayface, Spider-Man 4, and Jumanji 3. What Lord of the Rings thing do we have coming out in 2026? I think I heard someone say, oh, I already read that one. Chicken Jockey! And then people screaming Chicken Jockey and I Am Steve and quoting damn near everything. Don't forget the chicken. Must bring the chicken for the Minecraft movie. Maybe Foggy is dead. Dead! Deceased! Past tense! Muerto! Playing poker with Jesus and Betty White. I want to say something, but I don't know if you know the news or not. But there's a lot of heavy implications that he's alive. There's also a comic storyline in the comics where he fakes his death. So that's where a lot of that's coming from. I see people hating on the Dumbledore casting for two reasons: because he's American and because he's 79. Let the guy cook, in my opinion. Hey, Tyrion. Why did I say Tyrion? Peter Dinklage. Well, he did an okay accent for Game of Thrones. He blended in just fine, but yeah, it is a little weird for them to have cast an American, I think. But then again, those fuckers are taking all of our American roles all the time. They got half our superheroes. Like half our superheroes, our American superheroes are all British. Like, we outsource our actors. Fuck it. We could take one of yours. An American Harry Potter? No, get out. In the books, Harry literally says he had a bad feeling about Snape from the start, which will make it seem wrong in the show now. Yes, shit like that feels so fucking weird with the casting they made. So they're gonna have to dance around it. Does that mean they're going to then change Snape's backstory? Like, how would you do that? Like, it doesn't, it's just fucking weird. Like, the implications of it are the problems I have, really. When you talk about Snape's story, it's just, it's just fucking weird. Yeah, it isn't, yeah, isn't definitely weird. What about Harry Potter prequel movie about the founders of Hogwarts? That could be cool. Heard a rumor that Rowling is going after Warner Brothers to get the rights for Harry Potter back. I mean, then who's gonna fucking... I mean, that's who she's partnered with. Like, she's ingrained into all of it. She still has final approval on anything and everything they do with the brand. So I don't know why she would want to try to rip it back. So that's another thing. That's another turnoff for me too, is the fact that her fingers are still going to be all over it. I mean, the only guy who misses Austin Powers movies, like I kind of thought the sex humor from Helva and Has Been is inspired from. No, I would love it. I'd still be down for an Austin 4, man. I know it was in development hell for an eternity, and maybe it's way too late now, but I'd watch it. To try to play with race in Harry Potter, I will riot. We have 3 Deathly Hallows. I have 3 Deathly Hallows tats. I mean, they flirt with it in the way that it has context with witches, with mudbloods, with all that. They use them as a vehicle and a substitute for racism without actually going into genuine racism at all. So now, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, so it's not unfamiliar, but it would be very different. And I don't know how you would navigate it, to be honest. I've been a subscriber for a couple years and never found the time to watch one of the lives until today. It was great hanging out with you and everybody, and I'm a head off for now. See you later, Omni. I hope you had fun, but thank you for stopping in, and we'll catch you next time, man. Take it easy. And thank you for hanging out with us. It can get a little chaotic sometimes, but it's fun. We have fun here. We try to. Definitely was obvious Abby was a Firefly in the game, but it was a bit slow at first. I need Ben Barnes as Sirius and Andrew Garfield as Lupin. I could see it. It's so hard to me to recast any of the characters from the movie versions, because it's just that's just what I think of, man. I feel like we are not in a place where it needs to be redone. Sure, a lot was cut out, but I don't think it's enough to justify all this. That's milking it, I think. That's like, but we'll see. We'll fucking see what happens, man. But I might have to pirate the shit. I don't know. I don't want to support that shit, man. I don't want to support it at all. It just makes no sense to me. Warner Brothers is just, all of their recent business practices are also just pissing me off. Coming in late, do you plan on reviewing the new Black Mirror? Well, I've only ever seen 2 episodes ever, so that's a hard no. Talk about bad cinematography, watch Hellstrom. See, I saw the trailer for that and I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting, but then I never watched it. I have no desire to watch this Harry Potter series. Why did I say it like that? I'm very protective over the movies, as you should. Also, Tales of the Empire was Yeah, I could feel that. It definitely wasn't as strong as Tales of the Jedi, that's for sure. Naomi was bad through and through. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad I did not miss out, which based on how things went with that show, I kind of got that vibe anyway. Just remember saw the Tron Ares trailer and the inside I saw in the inside I saw instant maybe it was an autocrat. In Jared Leto's face, I was out cause why is Disney hiring a freaking cult leader? I don't know, man. I'm there for Tron, man. Bruce Boxleitner told me to see the movie. I'm seeing the movie. I was going to see it anyway, but the trailer's sick though. Trailer looks sick, but I'm there. I'm there for Tron, man. Frank will most likely shoot DP in the face, probably. Instant voice to text is dumb sometimes. Bloody Love, the Breakfast Club. Dyslexia's a bitch. The Hunt for Gollum is the Lord of the Rings movie. All right. I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, okay. I forgot that was a thing. Makes sense to release Star Wars Starfighter movie in 2027 since it's the same week as the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. Hell yeah. Should have something in theaters, you'd think. We have a Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings live-action Hunt for Gollum movie with Andy Serkis coming back to reprise the role. Also saw Ian McKellen say that if he's still around, he would also reprise his role as Gandalf. So, crossing our fingers on that one, man. Nope, only Brits in HP. It's like if you cast an American to play James Bond. You know? If they change Snape's story, hell no. Some things should stay British. Harry Potter, James Bond, Doctor Who. I could argue the Doctor. It is weird given the nature of regeneration that he's always British. Statistically, I get it. It's where the show is. Statistically, it's absurd. Especially with how long it took for them to finally change up his skin color or change him into a woman and all these sorts of things. It's like, it just feels like statistically, eventually, there's gotta be a doctor from some other region. But I'm with you on the other stuff. Hell yes, Darkly. I would rather have a Marauders Harry Potter story. That would be cool. Also, Harry Potter accuses Snape for trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone. Dude, so much of Snape's story is problematic with this casting, man. Exactly, if they do real race and real world concepts in that way, it's just not what the world was or is to be signed. We will see. Preach, Omn1. I was never a fan of Harry Potter reboot because the movies were my childhood. Why not do an original story? Right? Because this is lazier and easier. Fucking A. Her ability to make money off of Harry Potter is the reason I refuse to engage with any of the new stuff. Yep, she makes a buck and a dime off of fucking everything. Also would have preferred a story about the founders of Hogwarts, but I think somebody else actually just mentioned that not too long ago. Maybe it's you. Maybe I read a comment that you deleted or something like that, but I swear somebody else said this. But yeah, anything other than what we already got a couple of years ago. Yeah, Warner Brothers is removing Looney Tunes in the studio where they worked on the tunes. Shit is pissing me off. Yeah. Everything about their business practices since Zaslav took over has been infuriating. I wish we had a show about the American Wizardry School that was introduced in the Fantastic Beasts movies. Even that would be more inspired. That's barely fleshed out. It's not. Let's just say, be honest. They gave them some names and icons, and that was it. They should have waited 20 to 30 years to reboot Harry Potter, not 15. It's because they fucking want that money, man. Because they're fucking Warner Brothers is sinking their ship, and they're like, oh, what do we have? What do we have? What will people pay for? Well, WB was in my bad books with what they did to Batgirl. Oh yeah, that too. Absurd. But James Gunn's whole thing would have inevitably killed that too. Andy Serkis is actually going to be one of the directors of the Lord of the Rings movie, which is sick. His directing has been so-so for me. I liked his Jungle Book movie. But then you have Let There Be Carnage, and that was terrible. So here's hoping, man. Or the Doctor. There was a rule to only cast British actors in Harry Potter. Well, that rule's gone. Have to hit the hay, but it was fun hanging out with everybody. Enjoy your weekend and coming week. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Take it easy, Aunt Gar. Thanks for stopping in. Jazzy, not sure about the YouTube side of things, but no banking hacks, mate. I tip you because you are kind, accepting gent who loves X-Files. Sorry, would I tip you? Tip you and deal with this. It's all good, man. I appreciate it all the same. But yeah, I just worry about things happening like last time, dude. I can't stay for too long, but Glitch just put out a Gaslight District pilot, expecting a vid about that soon. Likely not going to be happening anytime soon. Hogwarts Legacy was the only good Harry Potter product that came out since the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I've heard decent things about it, even though they showcase a lot of shit you can't do in the game. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I was just never interested personally in it. But for games, I'm a little bit different because once you commit to it, like if a game breaks, studios get deleted. Like the people that work on it, if the game bombs, and hell, sometimes if the game succeeds, the studio still gets nuked. So it's hard to, like with the video games, like it's just like yes, obviously there's no getting around where that money is gonna go. But the video game industry these last 10 years, it's such a scary place to be, and I fear for a lot of people that put all their work and passion into something like that to just for what these fucking studios do to them, man. It's disgusting. You don't really run into that a lot of the times with like movie studios and stuff like that as much, or at least if you do, you don't really hear about it. But when it comes to like the video game stuff, I feel like I'm a little more lenient about it. WB is broke, especially after the CW money pipeline went bye-bye. Yeah, man, they're just burning themselves right now. MCU Spider-Man and Iron Man made me think of Brave and the Bold, Batman and Blue Beetle instead of Batman and Robin. That's a good analogy there. Owen Grady hand slam. Hell yeah, dude. The fact that I can remember his name, man. I have to get going. Have a great week. Take it easy, Sheldor. The first 5 movies are 20 years old. That's, god damn it. That's true. Fuck, hit me with the age beam right there. Oh, what are we having for dinner? I'm thinking about getting some B-dubs, getting some wings. I think that's what we're gonna do tonight. We need another Amazing Digital Circus episode. It's been too long. I still need to find time to actually even give that a chance. I still haven't watched it at all. Originally, the game was fantastic. Then Isabella Merced will have an amazing year after being in Madam Web last year, unfortunately. Hold on a second. Yeah. She was also in, I just wanted to double check because I want to make sure I wasn't making shit up again. She was also in Alien Romulus last year, and that was really good. Will I play Star Wars Zero Company strategy game? I want to. Will I have time? That's a whole other question. I want to play it. I'm not typically good at those kinds of games or patient, but I want to play it. But I also haven't had time to play Outlaws. I still haven't finished Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth. I'm behind on my gaming. So much so, man. I think Harry Potter reboot series would have changed the whole outline of Snape being bullied. They'd have to rewrite his shit, man. They'd have to. Like at this point, there's no big gaps between Star Wars games anymore. That's true. I can't wait for the next Fallen Order game. Has anyone asked you to react to a Discovery of Witches? No. This would be the first time hearing about it. Okay, now I have to go. Great week. Take it easy, man. I just saw this Gaslight District thing. I like it. The animation's really good. I've been playing Avowed and really enjoying it. Good evening from the UK. Found myself watching your Beetlejuice reaction a lot lately. So many great moments in your reaction. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Keep those views running. I like that. I want to come back to this because I couldn't remember what the game was for a minute. That's a new, like, kind of like fantasy game, right? I think I've seen a little bit of gameplay for it. Yeah, I haven't played it for myself, but it looks interesting. It's one of my many reasons that I love the Schedule 1 is doing so well. The fact that it's made by one person is insane. QQ. The Harry Potter creator hates trans women. I will not see anything that is connected to her ever again. It doesn't just stop at trans women. The fact that she, like, oh my god, dude. The fact that she had to make a post belittling and degrading just asexual people, like, a few days ago. Like, why? Why? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, like, what? I don't care. She baffles me, man. Absolutely baffles me. What's up, everybody? Are we excited from the new trailer for the? I got lightheaded there for a second. Tron Ares trailer, the latest trailers from coming out of Marvel. I think the Tron Ares trailer looks wild. It looks really good. As a child, did you ever believe in the Easter Bunny? I don't think so. I know I did believe in Santa, and still do to some degree. And the Tooth Fairy for a while until I put 2 and 2 together about what was happening. I think I caught my mom trying to leave me money on my pillow or something. Hell yeah, Lily. Hell yeah, Lily, indeed, man. I always feel like this torn with, because I love the world. And The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power made a very good, strong argument towards like art and artist separation. The problem is, obviously, she still benefits from this because unlike some, she's still around. But like, my love for the work versus the disdain of the creator at this point is just, it's hard to navigate, because the thing I think is just it's so good. And it's wild to me that so much of what has been revealed about her, I don't feel necessarily made it into those books, and it never left that impression to me. So then I feel like I love the world, I love the characters, I like all these things, but then it's just like, well, how do I express that now? And I do try to disconnect her from that, because once the thing's out there and it's kind of ours, we can own it and make it and amalgamate it ourselves. So like, I don't like, about the stuff I already have, I don't like loathe any of that stuff, but I do like find a problem with like, well, this new cool thing, I can't really get that. Or like, I feel like I can't, but I still love the world, you know? It's a weird, fucked up place to be in, I think. You know, don't you just wish like that at some point you just didn't know about the vile shit about the people behind your stuff? Back before social media, when people couldn't just post any just random visceral thought they had in any moment. Sometimes there's just that blissful ignorance, you know, back in the day, all that shit, you know. God. Fucking Christ, man. Anyway. Let's see, why would they have to rewrite Snape just because he's black? Because the implications of a storyline, I mean, he's quite literally tied to the Wizarding World version of the KKK. And then all of the other stuff with Snape as a character, when you change his race like that, then all the suspicion, all the shadiness, all the other things then become like reinforcements of a stereotype. You know, there's a lot of dancing you're gonna have to do with Snape just because of that, to avoid those connections, because people are already making them with the announcement. About blood purity, not race. I mean, that is the same thing. And even if it's not, you're going to draw that connection. And then you have the people being like, oh God, he's automatically creepy. He creeps me out when he's nearby, blah, 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 all these other things. Oh, and they immediately jump to him stealing the Philosopher's Stone. There's all these things you're going to have to tweak and change, because otherwise you're highlighting stereotypes that we've been fighting against for a long fucking time at this point. You know? And the whole mudblood thing is a race thing. You know, like witches, wizards, and humans are separate races by essence. That's the vehicle, that's the analogy, that's the pull there. And then to have him again be this incel loser is yes. No, because you can be a pureblood wizard of any race, right? You can, but it's a vehicle and an allegory for racism. I mean, it's all the way down to the fucking Death Eaters having pointy ass hats. All of it is tied to race, even if in the universe it's not, because they were too afraid to have that conversation at the time, because they also wanted to, you know, bleed out and fantasize the world, you know? So now that we're doing this, now we're really kind of mixing those waters a little bit, and it's all about how they navigate it and how they do it. But there's a lot of stuff with the Death Eaters, with all of that they're going to have to tiptoe. And this Snape, just the way that he's handled through every book as well, has got to be done with a lot of tact that I don't know that they have the ability to do. But who knows? Who knows? Favorite moments from me and your Beetlejuice reaction include the couples therapy, Astrid saying Beetlejuice twice, and the dance near the end. Hell yeah, man. I got you a show that you might like. It's called 911. It's on Hulu. I've heard of it, but I have not seen a single thing from it. So who knows? Maybe one day. Less said about that hateful weirdo, the better. True. Honestly, I feel like she's doing it for the attention at this point. Maybe. Maybe it's a case of no press or no press is bad press, or whatever the fuck that phrase is. I don't know, but it's just like she's just like she's not stopping. Like she's just finding new things to bitch about now too. Such a disgrace of a human being. Just join it, but do you think the new what a place to just join into. Just join. Do you think the new do you think, oh my god, do you think in the new Fantastic Four movie, the female Silver Surfer will save Mr. Fantastic's life, like how the man saved Silver Wolfman? Also, thoughts on the woman surfer? Well, she's a character that's been around for like 30 years now, so I've got no issues with that whatsoever. It's also a completely different universe. And I don't know. I mean, I could care less if she comes in and saves anybody, to be honest. Has anyone saw the Wheel of Time finale? It was phenomenal. Weird place to ask it. I don't watch it. And if somebody starts talking about it, they might spoil it if I do. How dare you, Jazzy? Anyway, would love to see you. Yeah, I can't talk right now, man. And I'm not like buzzed or anything like that, but like, I don't know. Would love to see you react to Discovery of Witches. If you haven't seen it, Leverage is a cool show to watch as well. I haven't seen it. It sounds familiar, the name does, but I can't really, it's not ringing a bell at the moment. Remember how I found out about the Tooth Fairy and everything wasn't real? My mom used a quarter and had a red paint on it that remembered was in our van. And when they had the change holders, I checked. Now that's some sleuthy shit right there. I just caught her in the act. Yeah, I just saw the JK sexuality thing. Hadn't heard that. Wow. Yeah, she's just broadening it out. Had no real issue with Snape being black. I don't recall him being described as white in the book. Am I mistaken? I'm pretty sure they did. But again, it's not so much. If it was any other character, I wouldn't bat an eye. But the thing is, like everything I described, like there's so many complications of that can come into play. If you want to do this, you need to win people over, and this is a weird move. We talked about this already. Cool X-Files shirt, and what do you think is your most participated movie show that hasn't released yet? Anticipated? Movie, The Life of Chuck, I would say now. Show that hasn't released yet? Vox Machina Season 4. And Sandman. Talking about problematic creators, and then Sandman comes into the conversation yet again. Forgot about that. Let's see. What do you think about Sandman coming out in July? I mean, it's coming out in July. I don't really know what else to think about it. It's sooner than I thought it would be. She's in a league of her own, the shit she funds. It's easy to ignore the crap she spouts, but the stuff she funds has real-world consequences on people I love. True. I own the books, own the DVDs. She gets no additional money from me. Have you heard of the new TV series, The Pit, featuring Fiona Dourif? I've heard of The Pit, but I didn't know Fiona Dourif was in it. Sorry for the rants. So X-Files. Yes, let's deter it. We got new X-Files on the horizon. Woman Surfer sounds great to me. Also, what do you think of how she looks in the movie so far? She looks great. In fact, she looks great. I've heard people say it doesn't look good. I don't get it. It's the same with the people that said the Thing looked bad in the last trailer. Don't get it. JK is crazy how old lady who will complain about anything. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm not compromised on my morals. She's a horrible person. I will not separate her from her art. Well, on that, we defer. Because I still like the art that exists on its own. Like, again, like, she herself put a good thing into the world. As a piece of shit that she is, she put a good thing out there that saved so many lives. Like, you can't... I don't think that the evil she's done can discount the light that her art brought into the world, if that makes any sense. It doesn't make what she's doing better or supportable by any stretch. That's not what I'm saying either. You know, everything current her is doing, everything she herself has done is deplorable beyond so, and I will never back that. But as far as, and I obviously, like I said, I'm not supporting anything new that comes out either, but like as far as like my attachment to the world as it was in the books I already have, you know, it's just like I'm not going to let what she's doing taint the memories I have of any of that. Because, I mean, that shit got me through. There's like people who wouldn't be alive right now without that stuff, you know? So like, it's hard to like, for me to like throw that away. Let's see. Why can't more billionaires be like CEOs of Arizona Tea or Little Caesar? If there's a conversation there, I don't know. I don't know what you're getting into. If you haven't watched it already, highly recommend the She-Ra reboot, She-Ra and the Princess of Power. It's on my list of things, but I have not seen it for myself. So maybe one of these days. And no issue with a female Silver Surfer, except that when I saw it, I was like, oh Lord, I can already hear her hate. There's always that. The second you see a specific kind of character, usually a person of color, usually a woman, you already know that the second you open like social media, you're gonna see some dumb shit. Exactly, if it was sucked, if it always sucked, it wouldn't have been considered a massive betrayal. So true. It's just her eyes about the female surfer. I didn't notice anything with the eyes. Got done watching Captain America Brave New World. Have you seen it yet? I have a follow-up question. I have seen it. I have a review on it. Did you read Percy Jackson series as a kid, or at any point really? Never as a kid. I tried like when I was an older teen. After seeing the movie, I was like, well, what's the book like? And then I got like a little bit into it, and I just haven't. I didn't finish it. I just couldn't get into the writing style at the time. I'll say Silver Surfer with hair looks a little bit odd, but I can get that. Any guesses on the new Avengers team? Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Hulk, Cap and Falcon, Strange, probably. Captain Marvel, probably. Shang-Chi, definitely. And yeah, that's about all I got at the moment. Do you miss not having anything spoiled in trailers and casting announcements, etc.? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I don't like having such a ear to the ground on certain things, but then again, I'm kind of like locked into having to get to know certain things as well and get involved with it or react to it or something like that. And then I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't see that or whatever. There's some elements of that. And then it was just like social media has made so much of it even harder, you know? You can appreciate the art, but dislike the artist in a way. That's how I feel about it, man. I think the guy meant that Arizona and Little Caesars keep their prices cheap. But if everyone did that, all the pizza would be as bad as Little Caesars. Sometimes though, I'm like, I don't mind Little Caesars. I don't mind it sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Give me that $5 hot and ready. I'll eat it. That's a go-to for whenever we have our D&D nights. Sometimes I'll just go to Little Caesars, grab like 2 or 3, and just bring it to the guys, and we'll play. I want to see Shang-Chi again. Me too, man. It's a little story about CEO of Little Caesars. When Rosa Parks' house got broken into because she lived on the bad side of town, CEO of Little Caesars bought her a new house for her. Well, damn. Well, that's wild. I only have half of this story so far. Does he have a sequel coming? Maybe. I think there is one, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll probably see him in Avengers before he actually gets his own movie at this point, though. Arizona tea, if I'm not mistaken, they haven't raised their prices ever. The tea is still like 99 cents. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I do respect that. I do. Because right now, at certain points for a lot of these different products, they're just gouging people. There's no real reason for them to raise their prices other than that people are paying it, and now they don't have to lower it because you've already got used to paying it. So it's just frustrating, man. Like, you can't go to Taco Bell and not spend like $30 for like 2 people now. And it used to be you could feed a whole goddamn family for like 15 bucks. Keep the hell away from all spoiler things. Ironically, the only time I am dangerous spoilers is in these streams, and sometimes I need to be a quick mute. Sorry about that. A better part of town, and nobody knew about it until his passing. He didn't do it for the publicity. He did it because it was the right thing to do and became a giant humanitarian. Now that's super cool, man. That's super cool. I know nothing about the last Avengers movies or Secret Wars. Will they clash with Thunderbolts, X-Men? Am I on the right track? I mean, maybe the X-Men thing, but I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, $30, give or take. Like, when we go get food sometimes, it'll be like $25, 20 or 30 if I'm like, man, I spend $50 on Taco Bell, and sometimes it's worth it. I don't know about that, man. If I'm spending $50, I better have a fucking like filet mignon in front of me. $50, okay, for 3 people. That's a little bit kind of more reasonable. Depends on how much you eat, you know. But yeah, prices are getting out of hand, man. Like, anyway. To see the first part of Little Caesar story? I did see the first part of the Little Caesar story. Love the Percy Jackson books. Maybe one day I'll get around to reading them. I still got to get through Dune. I still got to get through the rest of these Witcher books. That's the thing. I was trying to say, at this point, even cooking at home is expensive. Yeah. There's hardly a cheap option now. Even like going to the grocery store at this point and getting everything you need for a home cooked meal is like costing an arm and a leg. It's ridiculous at the moment, especially if you cook with eggs. Nice one, Darkly. Yeah, dude. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Small things, they add up. That they do. Especially on top of like, it's even harder. I spend like today, or yesterday, I went and got stuff for the cats, right? So like I go to Sam's, I got my Sam's Club membership, so I'm trying to, if I can get it in bulk, I'll get it in bulk. But like, you know, I get 3 boxes of like the 60-pack assorted wet canned food things. I get 3 of those and a giant bag of dry cat food. And then we got some litter, a couple other things. That was $240, man. And they go through that stuff like in about 2 weeks. It's ridiculous, dude. Anyway, speaking of overpriced food, when I asked why they don't raise the prices of their drinks, the CEO stated that, I quote, "We make enough money. Why we want to raise the price? It's okay." Something along those lines. See, that's the mentality people should have, man. I understand supply and demand and stuff like that, but like at this point, a lot of these companies, regardless of that, even if the thing's balanced out and they could feasibly just go back, they're not going to, because most of them are greedy fuckers. And yeah, so it's just some of these prices, I don't foresee them ever going back down, which is the sad thing. Anyway, real life talk for a hot minute. speaking of food, I'm gonna go. We're gonna be getting some expensive ass wings. Well, not expensive, but you know what I mean. Get some hot Buffalo Wild Wings. If it's not on your react to list or haven't already seen it, I think epic musical rendition of the Odyssey. You and among many other people have already recommended it. So one day, maybe, we'll see. I've got some issues with reacting to it, but we'll see. Time for WrestleMania. See you next Saturday, my brother. Take it easy, Terrence. Hope your muscle man wins. Whoever you're rooting for, go for it. Have fun. Have I seen Ip Man? I've seen the first one. That's it. I've seen clips from 2, 3, and 4. I've seen some clips from the other ones, but I've only seen the first one all the way through. Fantastic movie. Donnie Yen, he's an animal, man. Anyway, gonna call it there. We're about to cross 3 hours. So I'm going to get some food. And then I gotta get that well reaction put together, and then whatever else I can get through tonight, if I can make it through the evening without needing a nap. But we will see. But thank you all so much. I can't wait to talk to you all again. But remember, I won't be here next weekend. I'll be in Vegas for Level Up. If you're there, say hey. And then we'll be back the weekend after. And then from there, we got a pretty steady road ahead of us. I'm not sure when my next trip is. Sometime in June, I think, is my next trip. It's for D&D with the boys for a weekend retreat. So yeah, we'll navigate around that. But anyway, thank you guys so much. We had some interesting conversations today, but it is what it is, man. Thank you all for the support, the love, the chat, the banter. And when things get real, everybody's chill. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys so much. Maybe I am starting to feel this. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and have fun in the meantime. I'll try to keep all my videos out and on time, at least ahead of time. But obviously, Doctor Who and Last of Us are going to be late next weekend. But other than that, enjoy your week, and I'll catch you in 2. Take it easy, everybody.